Imperial Governor. We killed a lot of people and retrieved the Imperial Governor. He then attempted to bribe us with cash. Well, credits. With credits. He tried to credits that he didn't have on him. Devati then attempted to pull a big sneaky on our employer. But our employer, probably not knowing we're trying to pull a big sneaky, is still going to come pick him up anyway. So we're here sitting out in a swamp in a Lambda shuttle, waiting for their ride to arrive while we attempt to figure out, are we going to pull a big sneaky and help this guy escape and get paid huge amounts of credits, or are we not and going to get paid the pretty good amount of credits? As we're sitting here in a goddamn marsh.
I believe you have the peaceful intentions there with you as well, don't you?
No.
No, that flew off to orbit.
That's right. Nevin went back into orbit.
No.
No, not orbit. The landing zone, wherever.
You went back to the landing zone that they cleared near the edge of the city?
No. The peaceful intentions is at the landing zone.
Oh, that's
the
right.
The entire party is with the Lambda in the marsh.
I got confused. I couldn't remember
we went with the land speeder and then sent it back with the goons.
Nevin, I couldn't remember if you were going around somewhere or if they took you with, but they did.
I mean, I could totally be flying around somewhere if we could slide that.
No, too late.
No, I'm kidding. We could have pulled a fast one on them, guys.
Right. Well, I think you had 1 hour before they got there. So what are you doing?
I think we're going to go with the modest sum and not go for the big sum. I think we're just going to turn them in.
I'll play Pazak with one of the mercenaries.
Oh yeah, you have all your brethren to play with. Under?
What?
I think, we're basically just going to wait the hour out and turn them over. Because of the other alternative solutions, there was no good one.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ito Shireus certainly doesn't like that.
Well, it's too bad that he's restrained and doesn't really get a choice in the matter.
And he also doesn't know we're making this decision. He doesn't know the guys are on their way.
Oh,
we haven't communicated any of this with him.
Oh, okay.
No, we were having these conversations in closed helmets or outside of his hearing.
That's important.
Yeah, because we had the bounty hunter, or not the bounty hunter, the Mandalorian leader with us.
Yep. He's still there.
Yep. No, when we were making the discussions of what we were going to do.
Yeah.
What if we break it to him and he has a better way?
I don't trust him.
I'm going to have to go with the captain on this one. I, too, also don't trust the shady criminal governor.
Well, either way, after a while, he would start getting a little antsy, and he would say, hey, I couldn't help but notice that we're just kind of sitting here instead of getting the hell out of Dodge.
Part of the plan. Part of the plan.
Right, so when do we leave?
Well, basically, we're waiting for our other ship to get here.
The one that's not loaded down with trackers.
Yep.
And would telegraph our, backsides all the way out of the system.
Everybody.
Well, have it your way.
Yep, just sit tight. We're fine.
All right. Well, if you're just going to wait out the hour.
I think we are.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. When it becomes clear that that's what you're doing, the Torin, the leader of the Mandalorians, he hasn't said anything about this whole deal that you've tried to arrange, but once it becomes, after you tell him that you're not immediately leaving, and he also heard your conversation before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we basically included him in the entire conversation of, we don't feel like being criminals, essentially.
Well, less we don't feel like being criminals, just that there's not a good way to get away with this bounty.
What if he has an idea?
All he would have told you is that if you choose to go through with it, they expect to be cut in on the deal.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that if you don't, he won't say shit.
Worse
Yep.
for me.
Hello.
Hey, do your destiny roll. We need it. Welcome in, Aiden. We are just finalizing our decision on what to do with the governor.
Well, the hour passes. And soon enough, overhead, and on your Lambda shuttle, if you have that on or not, I can't remember.
Yeah, we faked a crash, but everything is still operational, so we would have seen
Well,
it coming.
we faked like a navigational issue that forced us to land.
Yeah, then overhead and on your scanner, you would see a small sort of freighter similar to the Peaceful Intentions, like around that size of ship. Like, picture any of the other options that I gave you all the way back on Delang. It could be any of those.
Sounds reasonable.
And it finds a place to sit down in the morning. A bunch of the Raptor Company commandos that you're more than familiar with by now come out of there.
You just broke your mic, Pete. We can't hear you.
I think he's
Oh, and
waiting for us to
Juran is
respond.
also there. The commander of Raptor Company.
Oh, brought out the big guns.
He appears to have come personally.
All right, well, I will sell the story and just fake that the door doesn't open the greatest, and then open it after a few seconds. I got
Yeah,
in
I
trouble
mean-
overriding the outside doors, etc. Well, I mean, we told them that we were having, computer and navigation issues, and
Yeah, he
well, now
has-
the door doesn't open the greatest. It opens though.
He has no reason to distrust you.
I'm just keeping the cover, basically.
Yeah, you can do that. He, however, is more interested in the governor,
Who is right there and ready to go.
who is right there and ready to go. Yeah.
And probably really surprised.
I feel like I but I can't remember it. Well, whatever. It says, so, Governor Shireus.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that.
And Governor Soraya sounded vaguely Texan.
Well, it looks like this
You gave him
whole
an
little-
oil baron voice.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
right. I think I made him a little southern, didn't I? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, looks like this whole little charade of yours is all over now. And the governor he just sort of sighs, realizing that you didn't go along with his plan. And at that point, he clams up. And unless you guys are doing anything, the Raptor Company commandos would take him from there. They start loading him onto the freighter. They've also brought some mechanics with them who they would make their way over to the Lambda shuttle and start taking a look at it.
Yep. Also, I would like to say that we probably would have spent some time of that hour making some sabotage to, because obviously we knew they were coming. We had an hour. We would have made
Mhm.
sabotage to make it, not a, oh, look, flip a switch, everything works kind of situation.
Yep. Well, you should make that. You should roll to see how well you can make that sabotage now. It would be mechanics.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? Oh God, no, we didn't do that.
Brinks, are you gonna use my help for that? And
What? Oh wait, what kind of
You-
check?
mechanic.
Mechanics.
If it's nav computer, wouldn't it be
If you want to
slicing?
make the Navicomputer fail, you could use computers instead. That would
I
also
mean-
be acceptable.
I mean, honestly, based on the description of what we were saying this was, it sounds like we're going to want to have messed with the actual way that it interacts with its Navicomputer than physical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had said that the Like the
There's issues
autopilot
with
had like
piloting and
forced
control and
enabled
stuff.
itself and forced us to land here.
That's true, but it could be a computer problem or it could be a mechanical problem. For example, with the
I will
antenna,
say-
the internal antenna array that the Navicomputer uses to position itself. There are ways that
I
you could
would-
use mechanics to create that kind of problem. It's really up to
Yeah,
you.
Branks. That's why I said mechanics, because between you and I only have 3 greens in computer, so you have
Mm.
more mechanic.
Okay. All right.
Because it could be, there's lots of navigational things that rely on mechanics.
All right. So money are yella, yella, yella.
Yep. And to keep this expedient, rather than making it a contested check, it's just going to be difficulty 3.
And then
Purple,
he has
purple,
my
purple.
assistance.
Yep.
That does what? A boost or a green?
Boost.
Giving you a blue. Best I can do.
Hey, can we flip over a light side tile? Just add a green to this.
I don't see why not. Done.
Oh yeah.
Brinks doesn't just sabotage it; he actually makes our claim real.
Well, how far do you want to go? Do you want to create the exact issue that you described after you landed?
Yes.
All right, you do that.
I see why not.
Oh,
I artificially create the problem that we said we had.
Yep, you like tape the magnet next to the compass.
Yeah, no, these mechanics.
I
that are-
love, I love how like Branks is actually a really good mechanic, but we're still using like Looney Tune descriptions for his shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after you describe what the problem is, they would go into the Lambda shuttle, take a look at it, realize that the positioning system on the Navicomputer, or that the Navicomputer uses, has been totally fried by someone who will not be named. Not that they know that.
Weird.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm amazed you were able to land in this condition."
Yeah,
We've got
it
a
was
good
difficult to
pilot.
bring her down.
Well, at this point, oh my god, I can't remember the names of my NPCs. At this point, Jirlan would begin congratulating you for a job well done. And of course, for the return of the Lambda shuttle, you can expect your bonus as well.
Wonderful. Make
Excellent.
sure we fly her back in one piece.
But I mean, it's going to take them some time to fix the issue that you created. But
Yep.
they offer to take care of it, and they offer you a ride back with the governor.
That works.
That should be interesting.
At this point, the governor is no longer saying anything. He's taken Hayes' advice, except he knows that he isn't going to get a lawyer.
Wait, the Empire has lawyers?
I don't think you would be entitled to a lawyer in whatever counts as a trial in the Empire, but people like him would definitely have lawyers.
He's going to be getting a swift military tribunal before a hole is opened up into the back of his head.
Maybe.
Likely.
But anyway, on the ride back, Jirlan would begin describing how the attack on the city is going, and it's going quite well. They've been able to disable the defensive fleet, and shit, what was the other mission I gave you back then?
Yeah, the ports, the shield, and the governor.
Yep. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so
No,
really-
the
and
shield,
more-
shield was separate.
no, that was the previous one. The more important thing, however, is that they have now captured the patrol garrison command of the city,
Yeah, that's what it was.
and in fact, they're taking you there now.
Oh.
Unless you would want them to, well, they're more importantly, they're taking the governor there. They would offer you a ride back to the first place that they were using as a landing zone, so you can get to your ship.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, Devati can stay, or
Yeah,
Party
yeah.
can stay,
Nevin
but
can just
I would
go
like to get
go
our
on the shuttle back and pick up the Peaceful Intentions and bring it to the new FOB.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Hop, skip, and a jump, Chief.
Anyway, Now, let me scroll up on my notes here to find that contract.
So how much do we get paid?
I believe you were getting paid 1,400 per with a bonus of 2,000. So let's see, who was here last week? I think it was
6.
6. I feel like it was.
Oh wait,
Moses.
no, AGR was here.
Yeah, AGR was here. Yeah,
That'd be
Um,
7 then.
I don't think AGR was here.
I swear AGR was there for the governor stuff.
are
Nah.
you sure that wasn't?
Oh
Sleuth?
no, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. You're
Sleuth
right.
wasn't there either.
Really?
Yeah.
Really.
No, Burger hasn't been here since we did the hangar.
Yeah,
On the
I think it was
flip
just the 6 of us.
See, there's 2 reasons why I know they weren't here. There was no disco ball probe droid, and AGR wasn't absolutely giddy over having a disruptor rifle.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I would remember both of those things. All right. Yep. So just 6 then. So 6 times 1,400 plus 2,000.
What about the ATST?
The ATST, the one you destroyed.
We didn't destroy it. We knocked it over.
Yeah. Okay. The one you
We
disabled.
destroyed it.
No, I distinctly remember we knocked it over, and Master Braytech just, immersion blendered the inside.
Yeah, but we did that by, crashing a speeding vehicle into its leg.
Well, I don't need
ATSTs
its legs.
ATSTs are kind of notorious for, if I recall correctly,
Tin canning.
being a bitch in terms of maintenance hours.
Okay, then I'll forget about it.
Well, what did you want out of that?
I wanted the gun off of it.
I mean, the Raptor company has control of the city at this point. So you might not be able to get the gun off of that specific ATST.
But there might be other junk ones we could pull the gun off of.
Yeah,
I'm just
the one
wondering,
with
is that guns the small guns on the side of it, is that small enough for the speeder?
Well, the one on the side of it, let me look at the stat block.
Because I know it has a big gun and a little gun.
It's got a big gun. Big gun would be a little too big for the hard contact.
Yep.
It's really meant to go on a larger platform. However, the small gun is just a light repeating blaster, so it would be the same as what you currently have on the doors.
Oh, okay. I just wanted a top turret gun, like a 50 cal kind of.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what a light repeating blaster is. Like it's light in the sense of like a light machine gun.
Oh, okay. We'll deal with that later. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean you're kind of in downtime now. Like assuming you're not doing anything else urgent, the attack on the city is going to continue and then swiftly conclude.
Well, if so, we're bringing the peaceful intentions and the hard contact over to this FOB, so we'll be able to work on both of them.
Yep.
All right, because I'd like to get proper armor and not just scrap armor on the hard contact. If we have downtime.
You would at this point getting towards the end of the day. So if you wanted to have people work on that for you, that would probably need to start tomorrow.
That's fine. I'm just saying, if we were having downtime, these are what I would like to. If anybody else wants to chime in, tell me to shut up. By all means, I'm used to it.
Gosh, shut
Don't
up,
make it so hard on
Ruffles.
yourself. Anyway, I assume Under is keeping track of the money. That's how much
Yes.
you get paid down there. Yep,
We have money.
very good.
Cash money?
Money cash.
Well, if you're not doing anything for the rest of today, then there would be much celebration at the captured command center among your compatriots who've taken the city.
Yup.
Yeah, over the course of the operation, you notice that the numbers have grown quite a lot. Like there's been sort of a popular front established, you might call it. Once the word got out, like, hey, the government are betraying the empire, and yeah.
Wait. We're betraying the Empire now?
No, the government was betraying the empire.
We overthrew the government that was betraying the empire.
The Empire is betraying the Empire?
I know.
Always has been.
Like Scotsmen's and other Scotsmen's.
You sure are contentious folk.
You've made an enemy for life.
Anyway, Enos Reyes is taken into custody. They put him in the brig at the Imperial Command Center. You would all be, I mean, you could spend the night on your ship. They have quarters there if you want those.
Are their
Um,
quarters comfortable?
Yeah, I mean,
In
there
comparison to a
are
military
barracks
yacht.
there. There would probably be like some nicer sleeping quarters for officers that you might be able to get by asking the commander for a favor.
Nah, I don't want to burn a favor on that. I'll just sleep on the ship.
We could just bribe somebody.
Yeah, well, if you're not doing anything else, then eventually the morning comes.
All right.
As you're at this command center, you can see like large groups of stormtroopers and other traitorous Imperial personnel being marched into detention centers in various locations. The sort of post-fighting cleanup has begun at this point.
So those two snipers we got.
Yep.
What's their damage output? And is like remember I was talking about getting a like a reentry shield from a starfighter.
Mm.
Would that be able to prevent that from happening again?
By putting it on the front of the hard contact.
Yeah, we put like basically just take a reentry shield, but then reprogram, refocus it so that it's covering basically turning the windshield into a shield.
Well, the reason they were able to shoot you was because you have a windshield. If you cover the front of it with armor and see through a camera, then that can't happen anymore. Unless they can shoot.
Oh yeah, I
from
forgot
behind.
we talked about that.
Also, as for your question about the damage dealt by blaster sniper rifle, it's base 10.
Yep.
At extreme range.
However, there is one notable thing about the blaster sniper rifle, which is that it has a let's see what's it got.
Repair 2.
So prepare to, which means that you need to spend 2 maneuvers before you fire it.
You gotta focus for the shot. Okay, so we have for the start of the day, we have 4 hull trauma on the hard contact, 2 system strain, which I think that should be fine. Basically, it's at half hull, half system right now, and then the peachful intestines.
The peachful intestines.
The peachful
That's
intestines.
me.
Well,
My
it's 6 hull
intestines are
trauma,
full
but
of
otherwise it's
peaches.
fine.
Yeah, so you've got the peaceful intentions and the hard contact of the new command center. Yeah, so what are you doing?
Does Devati want to listen in on the interrogation of the governor that he betrayed? Or not really, yes, betrayed, just
Not
Some
particularly.
double-crossed.
Do we care what he has to say?
Well, there is one thing that you might care about, which Enos Reyes would inform you of the following, or no, sorry, which Jirlan would inform you the following day. So, you remember that dossier that he said he had encrypted in the main computer here?
Mm-hmm.
The one I tricked him into revealing for essentially a promise.
Yeah, that one. So we've had our boys working on it since yesterday. Turns out it was encrypted using a non-standard cipher, which is against protocol. The only name in there was his.
I just kind of shrug and like, well, I tried. What can I say?
Yeah, he just you know that thing people do where they sort of nod their chin to one side and like grin lopsidedly, like, nah, well, he does one of those.
Is he lying? Like, is there equivalent of an insight check I can do?
Vigilance.
insight check.
Uh, Vigilance. Yeah, that's what it would be.
If I'm there, you get 2 boosts to vigilance.
Okay.
I want to see a reason he's not there.
No reason it couldn't be. Oh yes, and let's see, what did I? All right, so I'm not going to have him roll for this. I'm just going to give it to you. You can. Well, actually, no, that's not yet. You should roll 3 purple dice. I'm not just going to give it to you if there's no difficulty. Okay, yeah, now I'm going to give it to you. But yeah, no, you can tell that he doesn't suspect you tried anything. It's more that, like, what he has concluded from this, you think, is that he just put that in there to self-defend.
You broke up, say again.
Oh, what I said is that you're able to conclude he probably thinks that the governor put that in there in order to buy himself time.
A red herring bartering ship.
Yeah, like
Right.
he didn't have an actual bargaining ship, so he created that and said he had a bunch of information that he didn't actually have, and then encrypted it so that he could maybe use it before people realized it was fake.
Problem
Okay.
was. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said okay.
And kind of like, are you having repairs done on anything today? Or are you
I think our ship still needs some repairs.
Yep. We have 6 current hull trauma, and then the hard contact has 4. But then
Right.
I'd like to also upgrade the hard contact.
Yeah, and I would say, I'm sure Nevin wouldn't mind making use of the mechanics for some ship repairs and upgrades.
Then also we need to build the clamp system.
lamp system?
Yeah, so you know how you gave us the picture of the peaceful intentions?
I did.
You know, the back of it kind of goes up, and then there's a little, like, the life pod thing that comes off the bottom. Basically, I want to make it to the hard contact, and that life pod's doors, the back door of the hard contact and the back door of that thing are facing each other,
Mhm.
and have it attached to the outside of the ship, and then have it clamped in place.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too difficult to do. I mean, you would just have to, like, weld a bunch of shit into the outside of the hard contact and the outside of the peaceful intentions.
Yeah, basically, yeah, just it'd have to be somewhat structural, but yeah, being able to attach the two together and then keeping the hard contact on the outside of the ship, so it's not taking up cargo space. It was my idea, and then we could obviously have some sort of ray shield or something like that to navigate between the two, and then we have the hard contact as a secure storage space.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that this will take up 1 hard point on whichever vehicle you want the release to be on. So if you want it to be released from the inside of the hard contact, it'd take up a hard point on the hard contact.
All right. I'm gonna guys shut up, Cheyenne. I'm gonna leave that up to you for who you think should be the one clicking the deploy button.
Should probably be on the ship.
Okay, if you
On the
want it on
ship.
the ship, that means it's going to take up a hard point on the peaceful intentions,
Okay.
which I believe you're full up on right now, so you would have to...
But we don't need the smuggler compartment.
Well, you
'cause of
don't
me.
need the smuggler compartment.
So I'm just gonna put a 0 there.
Yeah,
And
you
then
can ship some stuff around into the...
yeah, no, I just put a 0 where smuggler compartment is. I'm just gonna type it down on the bottom, but that will max out our my linear space.
As for the hard contact itself, what exactly do you want to do to it?
Right now, basically, what we agreed upon is we basically just have junk armor on a moving van.
Mhm.
I'd like to actually get some proper armor plating and not just junkyard picket.
Yeah.
And do that for the upgrading. Hang on, I have to kick my dog and cat out of the room.
All right.
They think wrestling behind me and making a bunch of noise is a good idea.
Now, I believe the hard contact took some battle damage last time, didn't it?
Correct. We were at four hull trauma out of 8 threshold.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I blasted it with the ATSD.
So we survived.
So if you're replacing all of the armor, and let's see, you're at 4 out of 8. I'm going to say that if you're replacing all of the armor, then this upgrade would also have the effect of 1 day's worth of repairs. So
Okay.
when the upgrade will happen, and
While it's getting repaired, the 4.
yeah, well, it's more that doing the upgrade will also repair it because you're replacing parts of the ship.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah. Now, as for getting the armor to put on there,
Figure that's going to come at a cost
yeah,
of some kind.
That's something I got to check the book for. Give me a sec. What I'm looking up is how much the ATSG costs, and I think I'm going to base it off of that.
All right.
It's sort of a similar size, so you're going for the kind of armor you would put on that.
And then on the peaceful intention of I would prefer there being two or three release mechanisms. One being a mechanical down by where the hard contact is actually attached, like a big lever on the wall, like they got on cargo aircrafts. And then one up in the cockpit, and then I guess 2 would be fine. Yeah, one down by it and one up in the cockpit.
Yeah, I mean, you can have as many levers as you want. You just need the system to be on the ship.
All the levers. You can't go 5 feet without tripping over a lever.
You can release the hard contact from anywhere on the peaceful intentions.
You'll
Here
just
it is. It's in the other
trip
book.
and be like, oh, there goes the hard contact again.
Okay, and I gave you 10. So if you want the kind of armor that you're trying to put on there, you would have to that armor would have to be stripped off of ATSTs, and there would probably be enough that were disabled or like totaled in the battle. We'll say that you could pull or you could pull all that armor off of inoperable ATSTs rather than having to ruin a perfectly good one.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. So as for how much it would be, since it is still like perfectly good armor plating, I'm going to say that the whole thing would be to cover the entirety of the oh my god, of the hard contact. You would need, I'm going to say, 20,000 credits worth of armor from ATSTs
That we're salvaging?
that you're salvaging. Well, you're not the one salvaging it. You're buying it from Raptor Company
Okay.
because they would also have their own uses.
All right. Well, there's the price tag. That's higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah, we don't have it.
Yeah, I know we don't have it, so we'll have to wait to armor it then.
However, that's to armor the entire thing. You don't have to armor the entire thing.
True. Could armor just the front.
Yeah, what's it cost just to armor the front and the top?
So the direction doesn't actually matter. That only matters for shields. But what it'll mean is that you'll only get a
You broke up again at the end.
no, that was me trailing off. I actually stopped talking.
Ah.
Yeah. If it seems like I'm breaking up a lot, I'm not. I'm just like actually trailing off.
He's not. He's not. Suddenly stopping talking. He's suddenly starting to think.
So for half that much, meaning 10,000, you would be able to get to armor 3 as opposed to armor 4, which would be if you paid to armor the whole thing.
Okay, I'll live with that.
And we can actually
What would
afford that.
And you can
Yeah.
actually
What would that bring our total hull up to?
So the more important thing it would do is it increases your armor from 2 to 3.
Oh,
As
okay.
for the hull, we'll say that just by virtue of increasing the thing's bulk, it would get you to. Oh, what's an ATSD got?
Shit legs.
It does have that. We'll say it would get you to 10, and armoring the thing fully would get you to 12.
Okay.
So for
I'm good
now,
with
you're
that.
at 10.
10 and fully repaired.
No, you got.
I had
think I
four
said-
four hull trauma.
Yeah, 4 hull trauma, so you're now at 2 out of 10 as opposed to being at 4 out of 8.
Works for me.
Yep, and it should now have armor 3.
Yep. And then you said those are just light repeaters for the
Yeah, those are just light repeating blasters as the door guns.
repeating. Okay.
Actually, here, I'll get you a new stat block. Give me a sec.
Well, this is what I've got on my sheet that I'm typing that I have separated. If you wanted to go off of that, Pete, that's what I'm upgrading and changing on. I just haven't typed in the damage and stuff for the light repeating blasters.
Oh, yeah, actually, if you're going off of that, then that's even better. I won't bother.
I just copied the peaceful intentions over and made a new one for the hard contact.
And you're mounting one on top because you've got a top hatch.
Yes. That way Branks can go up the top hatch and shoot towards the front.
Mhm. Now, do you want to have that mounted on the outside, or do you want to have it like
Mounted on the outside. Yeah.
okay, just up on the outside all the time?
Yep.
All right.
I mean,
I mean, there's no way
honestly-
we could disguise this as a civilian vehicle at this point, so
True.
let's not even bother trying.
Well, I don't mean so much for that, so much as it'll make attaching to the peaceful intentions a little harder.
I mean,
And-
it's not pulling it tight to the hull. The clamps are just going around the side and hanging onto it. The clamps is where the structural support and weight is, so there can be a gap up there, no problem. In all reality, we could cut a hole in the peaceful intentions where the top hatch is and make a second access point for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, I did say the interior layout of the peaceful intentions can sort of be whatever you want.
Yep.
But, yeah, cutting a hole in the outside of it. Yeah.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
Sorry, my sarcasm kind of doesn't translate like no.
I mean, I had a feeling you weren't being serious.
Yeah.
but it was too interesting.
If anything, since we're armoring that will probably cost us a hard point, won't it, for the camera system? That would be something I'd like to do now if we can.
I mean, when you're installing the armor, are you putting it over the front as well?
I would intend to if we had access to be able to do the like LiDAR camera system for observation from the cockpit, essentially driving the Batmobile.
Yeah, I mean,
You can't
are you
really see out the
putting-
window. You just use the the sonar mode.
Well, what are you putting up there? Are you putting a camera, or what are you doing?
I think multi-camera system with like just a passive LiDAR backup.
Okay, so for that,
That
I
would be
think-
that would be the way that I would do it. But
What it
I also
sounds
think
like
more
you're-
sciencey than Star Wars, so I guess I'm wrong.
Well, no, what it sounds like you're trying to do is put the kind of sensors that a ship would have onto this thing.
To an extent, but they wouldn't have to be as advanced. They don't need to see as far.
Right.
Like I don't need to see 10 kilometers away with this system. I need to see a kilometer away. Not even half a kilometer.
Worst case scenario, can't we just put a periscope on the armor?
You can do that. I'm thinking of how I'm going to handle this. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. We're gonna handle this the same way that you handle like attachments to weapons. So the camera will be the base attachment. And
What's that?
So the camera will be the base attachment.
Okay.
And I'd say a camera is easy enough that I am not going to make you pay for that. You could probably just. Well,
Feel it, nobody would notice.
yeah,
Hey,
you
we
can
have these
find-
cameras.
You can find one. Let's say. Yeah, you could attach that to the front where one of the windows currently is as you're armoring the thing up, and that
Yeah.
would take up a hard point.
Okay.
Additionally, if you want to install things like a
I know LiDAR is not a thing in Star Wars,
well,
but that would be exactly the system that I would use. But like you're saying, it would be more like a ship scanner.
yeah, they wouldn't call it LiDAR, but it would be like a ship scanner, and you can install something like that, but it's going to be a like a mod to the attachment, basically. So you can roll for it.
Okay. So Branks. Actually, does that come at a cost before we
It
get
does.
into this? Okay.
So
What would the cost be?
let me look in the book.
Because that's gonna, decide whether we're actually gonna do this or not. I ripped my pants.
You ripped your pants.
Yeah, right at my pocket where my flashlight goes in. There's a little slit in the pocket between my
So-
pant leg and the.
So installing mods for weapon attachments costs 100. So for installing a system like this on a it costs 1,000.
Can we slide that under?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so 1,000 to fully upgrade the navigation system on the hard contact.
It's a difficulty 3 mechanics check for whoever wants to make it.
I can help Branks install it.
Will do.
Yeah, well, I'm curious what Underdark's going to describe this as. Our Looney Tune description of a
What's the
ship
difficulty?
sensor.
Difficulty 3.
It counts.
That does count, barely. But yeah, you're able to
Hold on. But why
So you're
does it
saying
barely
we
work?
duct taped a GoPro to the outside of the armored box?
Pretty much.
yeah, more or less. So actually, Under, you know how on the Tiamat Mark III you just sort of took the sonar thing and tacked it onto the front diagonally?
Mhm.
That's what you've done here, more or less. It doesn't look like that, but
Right, yeah,
a
we
lot of
duct taped a GoPro to the front of our armor.
yeah. It's got like one of those boat sonars on top of it that rotates. No.
Old navigation radar.
Anyway,
That's essentially
so,
what it is.
yeah, you managed to make all of those upgrades, and that's what you get.
Sweet.
So the hard contact can now provide all of the same types of scanning as a well, actually no, here's what you can do. On the vehicle sheet for the hard contact, what does it say? For sensor range, change it from none to short.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
And then write down that you have a an attachment that uses one hard point to do that.
Oh, I already had that. I just didn't.
Right.
Oh, I should change that from in case of camera failure to in case of GoPro failure.
Also, you should change the encumbrance capacity to say 80.
Thank you.
That's handled. Some other stuff is going to happen later.
You are fading in and out just a fuzz, so you know.
Okay. How's this?
I mean, that was fine. But the problem is, like you said, there were some other things that are happening, and then you just sort of trailed off.
Okay, that's weird. I didn't say anything else after that, so that's weird. I just
But it like faded out when you were saying happening. So we registered that you said happening, but it was quiet at the end of the word happening.
yeah, that's weird. I think maybe my mic just doesn't pick up the register of my voice very well, so if I like go down in the sentence, it stops picking it up or something. I don't know.
All right, we're starting a GoFundMe for getting Pete HyperX.
I don't want a fancy microphone though. I like what I have. I just wish it worked.
Pete's voice is so bassy, the computer mistakes it for like rumbling in the background.
But I have echo cancellation turned off,
That's not echo cancellation.
I guess.
Echo cancellation is when it tries to filter out the noise coming out of your speakers, so we don't hear the sound from your speakers feedbacking through your mic.
Like when
Oh,
Hayes
that's what that
refused to
does.
put his headset on.
Noise cancel, what it sounds like more is they're trying to filter out environmental noise. You know, like trains and stuff.
Oh well, it's gonna have a hard time doing that. The trains are really loud. They're louder than I am. Anyway, later on in the day, now that the central city on the planet has been taken, and the governor leader, the governor leading this whole mutiny has been apprehended, on the scanner in the Peaceful Intentions, you would see a whole bunch of ships exit hyperspace above the planet.
Well, that's fun.
Including one of these,
How much are one of those?
more than you can afford.
Our
For
the first step to affording one of those is to take over the Empire.
I will be emperor.
Just to
Jack.
confirm, they're broadcasting Empire IFF, right?
Yes, they are, and I will get to what they're broadcasting in a second. Let me see. Did I save the picture? No, I didn't. God damn it.
Oh! Are they broadcasting a Super Star Destroyer lifting up out of the cityscape of Coruscant?
No, you wish they were broadcasting that.
That would be pretty cool.
No, that hasn't happened yet. No spoilers. Yeah, so I don't know exactly where you guys would be in the command center, but if you're in any of these sort of communal areas like the mess hall, yeah, see that guy's in a mess hall. They would have a little TV screen in there. Oh yeah, go ahead and type whatever you're going to type. Yeah, I mean you can definitely do some of that with Torin and your Mandalorian buddies. Then a picture of this guy appears on that screen, and you would be able to pick this up on the Peaceful Intentions as well.
Wait, this is off of the Super Star Destroyer that showed up and was broadcasting?
That
So-
is
so
where
wait,
this comes from.
It's like balding fat Stalin.
Yes. In fact, several of you would probably recognize this guy. This is
Zinj?
Yes.
Who?
Remember when I gave you that map that has the galaxy sort of broken up into all those zones?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those is for him. He is not like separate from the Empire, but he
Oh, Zinj. Okay.
Zinj, yeah, that guy. So he has like a whole bunch of systems they're basically under his control, and he still swears allegiance to the Empire, but he also has an inordinate amount of power for one person who isn't the Emperor. Or Ysanna Sard.
Uh-huh.
A message is sent out from the Executor class Star Destroyer in orbit over the planet, and it says... here, I gotta do a voice for this guy. Greetings, citizens of the Empire. I am Admiral Zinj. I would like to thank each of you for your service in putting an end to this treachery that has become a blight upon our empire. Through your courage and your sacrifice, you have shown that even in these troubled times, we will not back down until the Emperor's dream has been made whole once more. Glory to the Empire. People in the command center begin taking up the rallying cry and shouting glory to the Empire. around this time, the Commander Julian would also come by to talk to you guys. Now that the sort of campaign here on Ord Mantell is concluded.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, he would want to meet with you in an office that he's moved into here.
Sure.
Yep. Well, firstly, Devati and the rest of you, I'd like to thank all of you for your help and everything here on Ord Mantell, helping set this whole situation here right.
You're quite welcome.
Now, as for we talked a little bit before about your imperial business and all that,
We did, yes.
and I believe I agreed that I would give you some help with your investigation, we'll call it, in exchange for you doing all this work for me here.
I take it then that you have something for me?
Might be. Well, although that depends. Where exactly are you planning on heading next? Now that we're all done here.
If I recall, this is out of character. If I
Yep.
recall, we had a lead on a geneticist somewhere in it was a couple of jumps from here. I want to say
It was
wasn't.
Telos 4.
Say again.
It was Telos 4.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it was a lead on a geneticist. I think you had been given this by Soren Brandt, and this was a lead on a guy who could connect you to the Imperial prisoner who stole the data packet, the rebel spy.
Yeah, Robin Tarl or something like that. All right. So okay, knowing that, I'd say.
You cut out there under.
Okay. So yeah, it was Robin Tarl, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I would tell Commander. It's like, well, we had a lead on the origin of that shipment that we were going to be tracing down over in the Telos system.
Right. And did you have a contact there who was gonna help you with this, or is this more going to be or are you going to be leading the investigation here by yourself?
I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say there.
Then let me be more clear here. What I'm offering you is an in with the Empire that'll help you. Well, see, now that I'll give you something that'll help other people in positions similar to mine trust you as well.
That type of thing would be very useful, yes.
Yep. So if you'll all look at that picture of Zinj that I posted, next to the big placard on the front of his uniform, you see those two little gray things?
Those aren't pens?
They're not pens. He doesn't pull one out of his uniform. He pulls an additional one out of the pocket on his uniform, and he passes it across the table to you.
Okay, do I actually know what these are?
I don't think you would, but
You broke up. Who would? T something?
Tenorok might.
Ah.
Is Mr. here?
Roll a d2.
Well, regardless, I would feign like, oh yes, this would be very helpful. You know, just being my charming self.
Hey, mister.
Love how he hears his name and roll a d2.
Mister. Sound off if you're alive.
I'm dying. Oh, Dr. Tenorak, are you here?
Hey, mister, we need you to treat our critical injuries. You hear?
If you're trying to talk, mister, none of us can hear you.
Maybe he just elbowed his keyboard and did that by accident.
All right, but yeah, I would
Yeah.
I would take and be like, all right, yeah, I'm sure this will come in handy.
Do you know what one of these is?
Not in the least.
This is a code cylinder. They're used to create encryptions. However, they can also be used to verify your station to other Imperial officers.
I see. Well, then I'm doubly sure that this will be very useful.
Yes. The particular one that I've given you identifies you as a... it doesn't confer a rank or anything like that, but it indicates that you're an agent of the Empire. A civilian agent, to be clear. An agent. You can use it to create encryptions that only other people with code cylinder will be able to read.
Like a consultant?
No, it's like a have you ever seen like an actual code cylinder that they use to?
No,
like,
no,
make
I'm saying
ciphers
the
back in
term
day?
for the term.
How about
As a
now?
consultant.
Now
Oh,
we
there
can-
we go. Now we're hearing.
Sounds good.
That would be the kind of term that we would use like today. I don't know if it's appropriate for what you're doing though.
Can you hear me now?
That's like a
Yes.
generic catch-all. For
Yes, mister,
any-
we can hear you.
Any military contractor like what we're doing would be a consultant.
Yeah, sure. We'll call it consulting work. Anyway, that cylinder identifies you as a consultant. So if you show that to any Imperial authorities on Telos 4, yeah, you'll be able to prove that you are who you say you are.
Well, that would greatly simplify things.
Well, not a problem. Once again, I'd like to thank you for everything you've done for me.
Of course. And if you should need this type of assistance again, feel free to reach out to us. I'm sure we'd be interested, even if we end up not being able to take it just because of the distance or whatnot. We'd be willing to consider any work from you that you have to offer.
Well, we've definitely got more of it to do out here in this part of the galaxy. And now that we've got all these people together, we might be able to work something out, but we'll have to see. In the meantime, good luck.
To you as well with your takeover. Pacification, that's what it is. He's pacifying the planet.
Yeah, I prefer to think of it as a rightful authority.
Imperial compliance.
Yeah, and with that, he would probably be done.
All right, yeah. I say the customary goodbyes and we leave. And I let the guy, if anyone who wasn't there, I let them know about, we got the code cylinder that, IDs us as, friendlies, so it should be easier to convince, Imperial authorities to work with us while we go and track down the code thingy from the guy.
Sounds like fun. Where do you want me to point the ship, Chief?
Well, once everything's repaired, Is everything repaired at this point?
We had 6. They spent a day on it, so I don't know how much we
Yeah.
get per day.
This would probably be happening during the day that you spent on this. So, like, if you wanted to leave tomorrow, that's when it would be. Well, it would be done by the end of the day, so you could either leave like immediately after, or you could stay the night, whichever. It's all kind of relative in space.
Yeah. Well, we might as well. Before we leave, I would like to pick up trade goods for making money on the way.
Yep, I was just getting to that. Have we done like the sort of revision that I did to how I'm handling this, or
No.
did we never? Yeah. Let me see here.
This would be the first time rolling with your new system.
Yes. Okay. So then, just to keep this clear, I will direct you to the part of the handbook, if you have the latest version of it, titled "The Economy," where I have changed how I'm handling this.
Okay.
Right. So now, rather than making a whole bunch of rolls, you're just going to make one roll for the whole thing. Or, no, sorry. Well, you're going to make one set of rolls for the whole thing. So first you have to
Pick up
actually
two.
decide where you're going. And once you know that, you would make either a Knowledge Core Worlds or Outer Rim check, depending on the region. In this case, it would be Outer Rim.
Yeah, actually, we're going to Telos.
Yep.
And we're on what? Ord Mantell?
You're on Ord Mantell. So let me eyeball it here.
So we're heading up to Ilthor, then up and towards Mandalore, and then along Trade Route 5 to Telos?
Yeah, you wouldn't actually be passing by Mandalore, but you'd be going near.
I meant in the general direction
Yeah,
pointed, since that's a big waypoint there.
Yeah.
Man, I got sidetracked for a second. Man, I perked up when I heard that.
Heard what?
I was taking care of character sheet stuff, organizing all the shit, and it's like, wait, what? We're going by Mandalore? What? I thought Pete said we're not doing that.
Do we just recover strain as like these days pass, or what?
Strain is recovered in full when you take a long rest.
I take it we've done that.
Yes.
Yep.
What about wounds?
Wounds you recover 1 after you get a full night's rest. You can recover more in a bag to tank if you wish.
Has it been 2 days?
It has.
Yeah, that's on it.
You had 2 scratches?
Yeah, 2 little splinters.
Okay, so I'm making a Knowledge Outer Rim check.
Yep, but first I need to determine the difficulty by looking at this. I'm going to say, let's see, you're starting from Ord Mantell, your Ithor is a major world, and then you're hitting a major trade route.
$5 green in that.
I made this so long ago that I've actually forgotten how it works.
Yes, just like
difficulty
calculus.
plus the route's average average rarity modifier. I'm going to say that it's a 0 for this route, so it'll just be difficulty 3, Core Worlds, or Outer Rim.
Okay, and I'd probably be talking with Tenorok about this so that we can plot it out, so he can make the knowledge check for helping plot out where we're going to go. He knows more about the Outer Rim than I do. So it'd be difficulty 3, you said?
It is difficulty 3, Knowledge Outer Rim.
So I roll with assistance, unskilled assistance. That give me a boost die, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, although, here, let's make this interesting, because I got to give you some somehow. Given that you're nearby the Pentastar alignment, it's unclear exactly how many favorable ports you'll be able to find, at least at the beginning of your route. So that is going to make this into 2 purple, 1 red.
2 purple, 1 red. 2
Yep.
purple, 1 red. Okay.
Very nice. All right. So the base number of stops is equal to the number of sectors the route traverses, which is 6. And then each success adds 1 stop up to twice the base number of stops. You only scored 1 success, so that means you now have 7 stops.
Okay. All right. And then I make a negotiation to buy and sell trade goods. Difficulty 3 plus the rarity.
So it's just going to be difficulty 3, because I've decided the average is going to be 0 for this route.
Yep.
Is there anything, since now that I'm a part of the crew, is there anything we can add for black market contacts that I have from my character to
So-
his check?
Black market contacts would matter if you were trying to trade in illegal goods or if you were trying to trade in like non-official ports.
So, since I have 2 ranks and know somebody, when I'm attempting to purchase legally available item, reduce its rank by 1 per rank of know somebody, would this be like reducing difficulty then for this check?
Let me see. Know somebody.
Yeah. When attempting to purchase legal items, reduce rarity by 1 per rank of know somebody.
That's the good guy equivalent of a black market contact.
Colonist. I'm sorry. Which career are you again? It's the
I am a Politico trader
Politico.
and trader. I have 2 specials.
I see.
Know somebody are both from trader. Leftmost column.
There it is. Yep. Know somebody once per session when attempting to purchase a legally available item. Reduce its rarity by 1 per rank of know somebody. Rarity. Okay, that's important. Yes. So what that would do is, I'm going to say for this application, it decreases the route's average rarity modifier by 1 to -1, which means that the difficulty is now only 2.
I have 2 ranks in it.
Ah. Oh, that's a ranked talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, you know what? It decreases rarity, not rarity modifier. So let's
It's like because I know somebody, I'm able to get a deal. I know like how to get the stuff cheaper, so I can increase our effective.
Right. No, it makes sense. I'm just thinking about how this interacts with the mechanics and how I designed this system to work.
Higher chance
So,
of finding more rare items that are tradable and more valuable.
yeah. No, it makes perfect
That's why
sense.
I brought up the
It's
black
just,
market contact.
Here, where's a table for this on the cheat sheet?
Is it mahogany?
Oh my god, where's the trading?
Item quality at the very bottom.
There should be a
Skill guide.
oh wait, did I write it in the handbook? Might have.
I just went through the cheat sheet speed reading. That the only thing that might be under would be skill guide.
Here we go. The difficulty is equal to half the item's rarity rounded down. So let's see. I think did I write that anywhere in the? I think I did. Okay, so the difficulty is 3, which means that I'm continuing to say that trade goods have a base rarity of 6. So what you're doing is you're reducing the rarity of the trade goods for each rank in that skill.
Yes, to 4.
So, yeah. So that would reduce it to 4, which is enough to reduce the difficulty of the check to just 2, with 2 ranks.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Profit margin is equal to 5% plus the route's average rarity modifier, 0.
Mhm.
each success adds 1%. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Plus the... no, that doesn't make sense. It shouldn't do that. It should just make it easier. 5% plus the rout's average rarity modifier. Each success adds 1% up to the maximum of 15. While each failure removes 1% down to a minimum of 1%. Scored 4, so that is a 9% profit margin.
Okay. And then I have no advantages to pack more into the ship.
Yep. So that means you're just going off of 25 per point of encumbrance. So how much encumbrance are you?
140.
140. Okay, so that's
Yep.
140 times 25.
Well, not quite.
Nope.
I have 3 ranks of wheel and deal. When selling goods legally, add 10% more credits per rank of wheel and deal. So this would add like 10% on top of that profit margin per rank, if I'm reading that right.
So I think what we said is that the way I was going to handle that is it's applied last. But once we determine
Right.
the amount of money you would make, we
Add
apply that
30%. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Just
in order
make sure
to-
we're still going with that.
Right now, how many? I think we said you were making 7 stops.
Yep.
For the final profit earned, take the number of stops, 7 times the profit margin times the total value of the goods traded.
Where
So
are we
it
headed
is-
to?
So it is 140 encumbrance times a value of 25. Yeah, no, wait, 140 times 25 is 3,500 times the profit margin of 9. Percent. Times 7. So that means you are making 2,205. And then how much?
Huh?
How many ranks of wheel and deal do you have?
3.
Okay.
But
And
that doesn't
it's,
match my math.
which doesn't match your math.
So all 7 stops total should mean we net 26,705 credits throughout the trip.
And 9% should be applied on each stop.
So it would be 7 stops times 109 or 1.09 for the 109% for the 9% profit margin. So we're making 9%.
Oh, you know what? I typed 0.09 instead of 1.09.
And then
Yeah, that's why.
times the base value, which is 3,500.
No, wait, hold on. No, this is right. Is equal to 5% plus the rout's average rarity modifier. Profit earned, take the number of stops times the profit margin times the value of goods
Pete,
traded.
here's how I'm doing it.
Okay, where's the 5%?
Exponential percentages goes up quick.
Yeah.
This is linear, not exponential.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Well, percentages multiplying it like that goes up quick.
You're not multiplying the percentages, though, you're adding them.
Oh, true.
Okay, so I swear to God, when I designed this, it made sense.
I mean, this makes sense. I'm just not agreeing with how your math came out.
Yeah, no, I definitely did something wrong, but what the hell am I doing here? It should be, so the total value of the goods traded should be 140 encumbrance times 25,
Right, which is 3,500.
3,500.
Yeah, that's E4 in that.
And
Then
then
E9 is the number of stops, which is 7.
Yep.
And then so we multiply 7 stops, each stop having a base value of 3,500.
Mhm.
each stop having a 9% profit margin, meaning you take that 3,500 and multiply it by 1.09. In this case, 1 plus the sum of those percentages, so 1 plus 9%.
Mhm.
So 1 plus 0.09. And that value comes out to 26,705. And then I multiply that by 1.3 to get the final profit of 34,716 and a half credits.
No, so I see what you're doing. You're so this what I've written here is for calculating the amount of profit that you make. It's not like the amount of money you get back.
That is the definition of profit.
No,
Revenue minus expenses.
Oh, okay, then you know what? That's I made that unclear. This is for no, this is the profit. So you would. The thing is that you shouldn't be using 1.09. You should be using 0.09.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have to minus the 35 every time.
Yeah. So this is calculating the amount of money you're making, not the amount that you're selling it for.
Yep. I got it. So that'd be 2205 then.
2205, and then you add your 30%.
Yep,
to that.
which is 2866 and a half.
Yes. Now you'll notice that's a bit less than what you've been.
It's an
Previous
order of
period.
magnitude less than we've been making.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, the reason I did that is because I don't want you to be making tons of money just like passively. I hope that's okay with you guys.
That's kind of the point of having a trade ship with a lot of cargo space.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't want it to. I could have sworn when I designed this it was giving you more money than that. I didn't mean for it to be this low. All right, I will take another look at this and maybe adjust the numbers, but
Well, let me put it this way, Pete. How much, from your feel, about how much money should this type of 7-stop trade run net to us? And I can go backwards and tell you what the numbers should be then.
right. So I didn't design it that way. I kind of.
There's no point in hanging up the whole session on this. We can work on this after.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna move on from this for now. I will revisit this later.
Okay.
To get it to somewhere that I like that you can do sort of all as one.
I'm
like
building
this.
the Excel sheet, so it will eventually be very easy to do.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna keep that number for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What number?
Number.
So we earned on this trip 2,866 credits.
Yes.
2,800. Okay. That's not too crazy.
Yeah, it's not too crazy. I did mean for it to be less crazy than what you'd been making before, because I thought that was a little bit too much. I didn't mean to nerf it this hard, though, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna rethink this and get the number to something I'm happier with, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, can we buy another fuel nacelle? I gotta recharge.
Well, I mean, each of those stops costs a fuel cell.
And that's in addition to the cost of travel.
Right. So I need to know what that is.
Let me get that. See. Space travel takes up to 12 hours. Okay. So you only actually traveled 6, I think I said, so it would be. Self hyperspace jump, 1 hyperspace. God, I would- So it should be 6 times 6 times 2. So it'd be 72. Okay. So this entire trip would require 72 fuel cells.
Okay.
Okay, tell you what, for just to offset the how hard I nerfed the trade system just for this one time, I'm gonna say that you don't have to pay anything for that. We'll just move this along.
Okay.
Yep. So your fuel stays at whatever it is because you buy more and you didn't have to pay for it.
All right, so we still have a full fuel tank when we arrive.
Yeah. I mean, well, you would have been buying more fuel, but we'll
How many days so I can knock off supplies?
that is the most important thing. Let's see. Six. Six days. It takes you 6 days to make this journey.
Okay. Good thing we're making stops because we'll need to refresh our supply. I assume we can still buy it at the level 5 credits per, right? None of these stops would make that difficult. Okay. All right, so that only costs us 360 credits in supplies.
Okay, yeah, and after those 6 days, you would make it to Telos 4. Let me get the blurb for Telos 4. Here we go. Telos 4, the 4th planet in the Telos system and the only habitable one, has had a rougher history than most worlds can claim. After being scorched barren in a vicious orbital bombardment thousands of years ago, Telos underwent a revitalization effort led by a contingent of Ithorians that would eventually succeed in restoring the planet to life. This would be the end of Telos' hardships, however, as the rise of the Galactic Empire would see the wilderness of Telos that many had fought to protect exploited for commercial gain. Citadel City, the new capital built from pieces of the orbital space station that had once sheltered Telos' population, was now the hub through which natural resources extracted from Telos were shipped off to fuel the Imperial war machine. So that is a brief little history of Telos. As for what the planet is actually like, it's covered in like plains, forests, oceans. It's a very Earth-like planet.
Okay.
Wait, it no longer has the giant station overhead?
It no longer has the giant station overhead. The giant station overhead, parts of it were used to build a city, which is now the capital of Telos 4.
Okay, but they plopped it down on the surface.
Yeah, well, I mean, the giant station overhead was huge. They didn't use all of it.
Oh, well, yeah, it was like an eighth of the planet's surface it covered.
Yeah, most of it they would have just dismantled, but they used the choice parts of it to build a city because, it was right there.
Cheap building material.
Exactly. And they would... I'm gonna say that back on Spirana, when Soren Brandt mentioned Rovan Tarl to you, he would have given you basic instructions on how to make contact with him. You can find him at the what the hell did I call it? I can't remember anything. It's the Imperial Command Tower in Citadel City. There you go.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, we go there then.
Yeah, so you can dock at the Imperial Command Center, which is just it's a big tower that sticks up over the rest of Citadel City. Very picturesque. And you do the standard go through reception. Hey, I want to talk to this guy, and you would be asked if they're expecting you.
I would say no. They're not.
Well, government officials, especially ones of Imperial intelligence, don't just take walk-ins.
Considering that we're tracking down a leak to a suspected rebel, I think you'll want to hear what I have to say.
And I'm sorry, you are...
Captain Davadi of the Peaceful Intentions.
Show me your thingy.
Yeah, and then I pull out the code thingy to do the thingy.
She looks at that, and then... So at this point, I should describe it. The code cylinder, it is just like a little cylinder of gray metal. You can plug it into data pads, and it'll encrypt shit for you. And she would offer you like a little port to plug it into to verify your identity.
Mm-hmm. I do so.
Yep. You do so. And then she looks at her monitor on her side of the desk, and she says, "Excuse me, I need to go make a call to him.
Of course.
And if you were willing to wait a few minutes, she would eventually come back.
Mhm.
And she would announce that you can, she would tell you how to get to his office and that he would be willing to see you now."
Great. Yeah, I think we go to his office.
Yep. Yeah, you go to his office. And inside there is a man in a very plain looking gray Imperial officer's uniform. Human man. He is completely bald, with a very square head. I assume you're all going up there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know where I am.
Yeah, well, I know you're on the ship, Nevin. Yeah. You do have to check your weapons in here. This is like a government building.
What?
It is a Imperial government building. You're not allowed to bring weapons in here.
I see that I don't exercise freedom of religion here. Fine, I'll check my weapons.
Yeah, anyway, you meet with, or you make it to the office of Robin Tarl, the bald, square-headed man. And now I have to give this guy a voice, and I forgot what I was going to give him. Actually, here, tell you what, let me go get some water so I can give this guy a decent voice.
Okay.
Misa Imperial Governor.
You're some bomb bad generals.
Can I get a rocks fall? Everyone dies.
Braytag just pulls the head off the Imperial officer.
God, I hope Pete didn't hear any of that.
What species is Admiral Akbar again?
Oh, he's Mon Calamari.
He's getting in the water so he can do a good Mon Calamari voice.
Oh, the best way to do that is to have a different person queue up while blowing like bubbles through a straw into like a cup of soda while he speaks. Like
I don't know if I can get that to work.
yeah. Try doing it.
Yeah, my mic's not picking it up well enough.
Ah, shit.
I mean, I could hang on. It might sound absolutely horrible, but I can do this real quick to see if I can. I don't know if that picked any of that up.
No, not really.
I think it's literally just too off of a decibel for it to actually register that it's making noise.
Okay, I'm back.
We
Welcome
must
back.
find a place for the Death Star.
No, not quite. He sounds like, oh, you must be Devati.
Oh god, it's almost the voice I
It's
did.
Asian haze. It's the Asian haze.
You must be Devati.
Yes, I am Devati.
Oh, well, go on. So, what brings you here? What did you want to meet about?
Trying to backtrack a shipment of that found its way into rebel hands, and that eventually led me here. I'm trying to track down the origins of a package that we picked up from Sparana.
So you're saying this package you picked up from Sparana made its way into rebel hands?
I'm saying it was destined for rebel hands. It was sent with the intent of reaching the rebels.
I see.
And it led me to here, eventually. And so I was thinking, since this is, effectively your planet, you might be able to shed some light on who might have sent such a thing.
Well, I should formally introduce myself then. I'm the Imperial Operations Lead here on Telos 4. Though, you also didn't answer my question. What was in the package?
That we're keeping a bit close to the chest, if you don't mind.
That? Yeah, I'm going to make you roll for this. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to make this guy roll. Oh, well, first off, because I got to give you these somehow. Yeah, I think that should do. And now you may roll persuasion. Or, no, it's not persuasion.
Charm?
Yeah, you may roll charm. Well, I suppose if it is a matter of secrecy. So, what is it that you want exactly?
The package was being sent through a security company front. And if you have any people you've been keeping an eye on from that, that might be a helpful place to start looking for it here. Sorry, just out of character for a second. It's been too many weeks. I can't remember this particular plot line.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I kind of shoved a big whole intermission right in the middle of this plot line. So what I'll give a brief recap of what Soren Brandt told you on Sparana.
If you don't mind.
Yep. So Soren Brandt explained that the hold on, I need to retrace this whole series of steps.
Yeah, because all my notes were that.
The other thing is there's parts of it that you shouldn't know yet.
Right.
I gotta make sure I don't tell you anything I shouldn't be telling you.
You're sitting there reading the text and, picturing the black lines through it.
No, I'm picturing the corkboard with the photos and the push pins and the string.
You see, there was a guy. He had some stuff. We found him and his stuff. That's it.
Yes. So what led you to Sperana in the first place was that the shipping address, as in the origin of the package that you found on the Broadback after you were attacked, was signed personally by Soren Brandt on Sperana. So you eventually went to Sperana, and you spoke to Soren Brandt, asking where the package had come from. And let's see, he explained that he had obtained the package from a rebel spy that he had uncovered. He doesn't actually know where the package came from, but he knows this rebel spy had something to. The rebel spy was captured. He turned her over to the Imperial authorities. And then he sent the package to Narsh. Wait. Okay, hold on. This is the part where I gotta be careful about what I tell you. Right, so I think he sent the package to Nar Shaddaa, is what he would have told you, to that address.
Okay, so if I understand that correctly, then our link back here to Telos was what? Like, why do we have Robin? Like, I have Robin Tarl's name
Yes.
down under Sperana in my notes.
You have Robin Tarl's name because when you met with Soren Brandt, you asked what happened to the prisoner, and he said, well, I don't know what happened to the prisoner, but if you want to find out, your best bet is to talk to this guy. He's with Imperial Intelligence.
Got it. And so he's the guy here who interrogated the spy about this shipment, or that
He
originated the
didn't say
shipment.
that. He just said to go talk to Robin Tarl.
Right, because he's the guy who had the spy.
Yeah, he didn't say that part.
You just said that.
No, I said that Soren Brandt was the one who uncovered the spy and then turned him over to the authorities.
Right. And if we wanted to know more about that spy that got turned over, to talk to Robin Tarl.
Yes. You can infer what you will from that, but... that was
Okay.
what he did.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Got it. All right, so thank you for the recap.
No problem. I apparently could have used it myself, because I'm also sort of forgetting the plot in this campaign. And I wrote it.
Right, yeah. So, when talking with Robin Tarl, I mentioned the shipment. I said, the shipment originated from a rebel spy that was caught after the shipment was sent out. And I have been informed that if I wish to get information about the spy, I should talk to you.
Spy was caught, you say?
Say again, Pete, I didn't pick that up.
The spy was caught, you say?
So said my contact. Said he was caught and turned over to Imperial Intelligence and that you were the man to talk to about that.
Well, the, and I'm sorry, who told you to talk to me about this?
It was revealed to us in a dream.
I was doing some undercover work, and an enemy asset made the connection about how their spy had gotten caught.
Okay, and then they told you to come talk to me, this enemy asset.
Well, not in as many words, but I believe they were attempting to solicit an assassination attempt on you by us.
Now you should roll deception.
Honestly,
Honestly, I don't remember enough of that conversation. I'm not sure how that actually happened. Like, in my notes, I have that, but the assassination thing I just sort of made up.
yeah, I've been trying to track this stuff too, and honestly, even I'm fucking lost. 'Cause weren't we just
Now imagine
trying
how
to,
I feel, who only has half the information.
weren't we just trying to find a geneticist to decode the genetic code we got as a result of the whole investigation and the data stored in the kryptonite body?
That is the thread we pulled to get on this route. Yes.
Yeah, sort of.
Where did this stuff about spies and assassination come from? I'm very
The part
confused.
about the assassination Devati made up. The part about the spy was where the package came from in the first place. The problem with me giving you that recap is that I don't remember what I told you well enough to remember exactly what it was I told you.
Well, Brant didn't solicit an assassination attempt. That was my
No,
bad
he
attempt
didn't.
at a joke that you're apparently taking seriously.
Oh, you were joking?
I was, but I have no problem playing it off as Tarl didn't realize I was joking and therefore is checking against my deception.
Ah, okay.
Wait, we're rolling for sarcasm? Awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't
apparently.
realize he was being sarcastic.
Yeah, so he would obviously then pick up on my sarcasm since he's not going to fall for that fake line.
Hey, you know what? That makes sense. If you were being sarcastic, then you were being sarcastic.
Yes, I was.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just confused about what exactly led you to talk to me here.
I want to talk to the spy.
Ah, well. I've seen your credentials. Unfortunately, I can't just give valuable captured person to anybody.
Oh,
do
I have no problem talking to him in situ. You don't have to give him to us. I just want to talk to him.
Forgive me, by give I mean give access to. I would never give you him. But no, I can't just give access to a captured rebel agent to just anybody, even somebody in your situation, though I do have the power to.
And what would it take to change your mind? Since obviously that's a possibility.
I'm not the type to do favors for favors. But there is a matter here that I could use some help with, if you, which based on your credentials, I think you might be able to assist.
I think that's entirely possible. And in doing so, would obviously show our bona fides and therefore would justify letting us talk to a enemy agent.
Yes, I'm glad that you understand.
Indeed.
Then allow me to explain here. Tell me, have you heard of the Reclaimers?
Out of character, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I'm assuming it's not a recycling company.
No. It's probably, like, this is a thing I made up. This is not like a reference to any existing Star Wars property.
Okay, so totally in character then. Not
Yeah,
at all.
totally in character. Well, they're a terrorist cell who've been active on Telos for a few years now. They claim to be protectors of nature, and they're committed to destroying all the industrial infrastructure. Oh god, I'm lapsing back into the other guy now. And they're committed to destroying all the industrial infrastructure. We've worked so hard to defend it. I'm sending you to a region where we've been losing supply shipments, and I want you to uncover as much intel on them as you can and report back.
Is it near the polar region?
You're not visibly Imperial, so you might have more success getting by them than our patrols.
Okay, and you're just looking to get intel on size, locations, that type of thing, or do you actually want to try taking some of these guys out, capturing them? I mean, how far do you want us to go?
If you could capture one, that would certainly be helpful. But I'm mostly just looking for reconnaissance here. See, I have the ability to requisition troops, but it sort of works on the kick them while they're down system, meaning if too many of them go missing in the woods, then I don't get any more.
Okay. That certainly sounds like something our group can handle for you. I'm just curious. Is there a particular reason why you haven't just bombed the woods back to plains?
Well, we could, but it's a big planet, you see.
I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood. Just how much of Telos is forested?
Not all of it, but there are large forested regions now.
Okay.
You said it was similar size and composition of Earth.
Yeah.
Right, I was under the impression it was mostly industrialized, though. So that's why I was just double checking on that.
It's not mostly industrialized, but it is rapidly industrializing.
Got
like,
it. Okay.
like the Amazon.
Yeah. All right, so there's large, vast swaths of wilderness on this planet.
The reason we can't just pursue a scorched earth campaign is because all of our industrial assets are all tied up in there.
Right. Yeah. I misunderstood the state of Telos 4. That's why I was making that statement. I wouldn't have made that statement in this case because it's plainly obvious you can't burn, 80% of the planet's surface.
Right.
I mean, you can. It was done. It just wouldn't serve strategic purposes.
It would be outside the
not fiscally
bounds of
advisable.
acceptable collateral damage.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always burn Telos to the ground to send a message.
Okay. Generally, these types of terrorist cells, and this is me talking in character, work on a kind of contact and referral system. I don't suppose you have any contacts, ins, or agents, captured enemies or whatnot, that somebody that could be used to vouch for us to get us closer to them.
Yeah, well, if I did, I wouldn't need you. No, these aren't the type to be, well, I suppose if they have a support network in the cities, we don't know about it.
Right, but cold approach it is then, is what you're saying.
What we've exclusively been dealing with are these guerrilla forces hiding out in the forest.
Okay. Well, then we can definitely start getting more information on them. In terms of collateral damage, do you have any hard limits we need to worry about?
Well, I mean, don't kill anybody who isn't an enemy combatant. Someone in your position should be familiar with what you're allowed and not allowed to do.
You'd be surprised how much variance there is from situation to situation, planet to planet, person to person. I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page here. And the limits you just set are perfectly fine. Some people are very much in the sense of, if you happen to find out that they're all in the basement of this tall building, go ahead and bring the building down, type things. So just wanted to make sure we're on the same page in terms of accidental things that might happen. But we'll keep it to enemies. Don't worry about that.
Well, as long as there are no accidents.
Oh, there might be plenty of accidents. It just they'll all happen to the enemy is the problem.
Very good. Anyway, the region where they've been most active recently. Scroll down here. The region they've been most active recently is in the Utapar Shelf. Our central research people there has been experiencing several of their attacks on our transports. I'm sure they can give you more information.
I'm sure they can. We'll we'll be able to work with that. Is there a this is like an Imperial supply base, you said?
It's not Imperial, it's just industrial. These are civilians you'll be working here with. Why do I keep making them Southern? I don't mean to, it just keeps happening.
Welcome to the
Now I say.
Imperial
Now I say.
Confederacy.
I just gotta go back to Hayes, that's the only way.
I say Darth Vader was the greatest leader our Confederacy ever had.
This will be civilians you work with.
Okay.
No, that's not Hayes.
Well, then we will come back to let you know about our success.
No, very good.
And then I think we leave.
Yep. Yeah, the location that they pointed you to is like several it's sort of 90 degrees around the globe from where you're at. So that would just take you, I think, an hour.
Okay.
And yeah, so this central depot that they actually I should describe the region first. It's the whole place is covered in just these really tall trees, like redwoods, basically. And the depot that he has directed you to, it's sort of a like platform out in the woods, like a raised platform that you can land ships on, and then it serves as like a cargo depot for unloading things onto ships.
Okay. And this this is a civilian, not public, but it's an industrial type landing zone.
Yeah, it's an industrial facility.
Right. I assume, given its remote location, that it has local facilities for recreation, like bars and such.
Not this. This is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Think of this as like it's not a logging operation, but it's that kind of isolation. There isn't a settlement near here or anything like that.
Well, where do the workers sleep? Do they fly in every day?
No, they sleep in like not barracks. What's the word?
Longhouses?
Dormitory?
Yeah, they sleep in dormitories that are built into this facility.
Right, and the workers obviously aren't working, every minute they're awake, right?
No, they have recreational facilities at the. It's not a base, like at the building.
Okay, yeah, and they got people coming in flying shipments and such in.
Yeah.
And I assume that this recreational facility has a drinking establishment, formal or informal.
It would.
Right, that's the place to go then. We go to the local bar.
Well, I mean, you can go to the bar, but when you get there, there would be someone there to receive you, because he would have told them that you were coming.
Oh, well, that makes some things easier. Okay, yeah, that works.
I mean, you can go to the bar as well, but
well, first let's deal with the receiving group. Sorry, I skipped ahead a bit. I think.
No, it's all right. Yeah, the person sent out is the foreman. They're a human. They introduce themselves as their name is Jareen.
Jareen.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah, so they would, if you were to Well, they've been told that you were there to do something about the attacks that have been hitting their transports.
Okay.
And yeah, anyway, they would go on to describe the situation a little bit.
Sure. I listen. What does she say?
So she would explain that this sort of central terminal services a whole bunch of mines and other mineral extraction sites around the region, where they send ground transports out to those sites, which then, or those sites send ground transports to this depot loaded with ore, and then they send the transports back loaded with whatever supplies various industrial sites need. And it's those returning transports that have been getting attacked. The first one they found 6 months ago was out on the road in the middle of the woods. All of the crew were dead, all of the cargo was gone, and the axles had been melted. And since then, it's happened about a dozen more times. And it's really putting a dent in their work here.
Could I have been resting in a Bacta tank to get rid of my critical injuries?
Yeah, we can handle that. You had plenty of time.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. And
How many attacks have there been?
There have been a total of 12.
Over what time period?
6 months.
And these are, if I understood from earlier statements, these are what, eco-terrorists?
Basically.
But they're taking the resources.
Pete, what does Brinks know about the Ithorians as a people and their their general pacifist tendencies?
I mean, you know that there are pacifists among the Ithorians, but it's not a universal thing. There are other people than Ithorians on Telos 4 now as well.
Ah, right. Demographic changes. Okay, so
Yep.
Good to know. That part did not cross my mind, given my frame of reference.
And I asked Choreen if all of these attacks follow the same MO with them getting hit on the return trip when they were laden with supplies, and all of them involved melted axles.
Yep, pretty much they all used that same method of well, we don't know if that happened before or after they took the why am I giving her that same voice again? Yeah, she would
He's a
tell you
southern
that they,
man.
apparently that's the only voice I can do to it. The only no. Yeah, all of the attacks were found more or less the same way. The axle melted. They don't know if that happened before or after they took the cargo. It has exclusively been these returning transports, not the ones laden with ore, but the ones with things like supplies and fuel in them.
Right.
Sounds like we're gonna have to go for a jungle hunt, but
How long ago was the most recent attack?
Ooh, we'll say it's like that here on Telos 4, it's around the beginning of the month. So we'll say it was last month, maybe 20 days ago.
They're due for another attack then.
Are the transports moving regularly, like on a fixed schedule, or are these somewhat chaotic in terms of scheduling?
No, we keep them to a regular schedule, or at least we try with the with all this going on. I've been having to have them take more circuitous routes to avoid some of the roads where these attacks have been happening. Though that's also causing us to fall behind even more than we were already.
Have any of the transports on the more circuitous routes been hit?
Not so. Although I've only been doing it for about a month now. I don't know how long it'll take them to get wise.
Brinks has some skill in well, the warfare skill, which I presume that gets into military planning, right?
It would.
Would Brinks be able to get access to a orbital scan of the routes where this is occurring?
Yeah, they have a map showing where all the roads go.
Yeah, looking. How detailed is the map? Like, do we have topography and whatnot?
Not like. You have a road map.
Damn, lazy Imperial bastards.
Yeah, no, there's no Google Street View for this, unfortunately.
I
Wanna
just
take a
meant more
scan?
like at no point do they have topographic and maps like for elevation and stuff?
No, I'm saying you have a road map. Have you seen an old paper road map where they
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't just show the roads, like you can see where mountains are. It has what do you call things on maps where they do like they have like the lines to show where the terrain sticks up and they get closer.
That's a
together?
topographical map.
Yeah, they.
That's exactly
that's
what
you're
Goat was
asking
asking
about,
for.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know the term. Yeah, they have that.
Yeah. Okay. Do they have like the classic Star Wars 3D?
Yeah, it would be in 3D.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get like a lay of the land and see where the roads go.
Yeah. Would Brinks be able to look over that and see if he's able to piece anything together from the bits of data that they have for us?
Sure, based on what you've heard and what you can see on this map, make a 24 knowledge warfare.
Alrighty. Hey guys, can we spend a light side?
Sure. We got 3.
So difficulty 4, right?
Difficulty 4.
Bummer.
Yeah. So, looking at this, using your knowledge of warfare, you are able to find like locations where, if you're trying to put yourself in the mindset of somebody trying to steal things from these transports, yeah, you can find strategic locations where you might want to ambush these transports. The problem is that you find like a ton of them. All the terrain around this this whole region, the Utapar Shelf, it's very hilly and mountainous, and you've got all these tall trees in the way, but it's also like riddled with these little sort of valleys and canyons.
So it is quite literally perfect for avoiding any kind of aerial reconnaissance. You just slip away into the dense foliage and mountainous valley regions and just disappear.
Yes, there are hiding
Well-
places everywhere, and the roads follow the terrain enough that it creates lots of suitable opportunities for ambush.
Well, actually, that brings up a good point. We have a life science scanner on our ship. Is there any like other settlements besides these industrial things in this area?
Ooh. Not really, just wildlife. Is
So-
what they would tell you.
Right. So if we were to do like a life science scan and find a large concentration of humanoid-sized life forms in an area, that's a good chance it to be this terrorist camp. Yes.
Wouldn't that be difficult to tell inside of a jungle, basically?
Depends on how your life scanner works. If it works on the whole, can scan shit like through buildings and at long range and stuff from the ship, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to see through some trees.
We have it written as open, works in open terrain and through light structures.
Through light structures.
Is a tree not a light structure?
A tree would be a light structure. See, I have to actually think about the science behind this.
I mean, I suppose enough trees clumped together would, functionally be able to create enough that even a scanner would run into difficulty, right?
But if it's that dense, would they be able to build a camp there?
Yeah, basically what we're doing is, so you guys ever walked past a row of corn? or a bunch
Yeah.
of rows of corn, and you can see down it, but then when you look the other direction, you can't see down it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be basically taking scans to that extent. I mean, I'm going to fly the ship in a straight line, and it's going to scan out to the left and out to the right. It's not going to scan forward. So I'm
not
going to be
sure what you
scanning
mean by that.
as far.
What he means is that as you change your position, you'll be able to
Yeah.
get behind certain trees. And so we're going to try to map over a region from several different angles to try to get as complete a picture as possible. That
And
way,
from high elevation.
Yeah, the problem here is that these trees are like redwoods. So some of these are like 10 feet of solid wood. I don't know if I would call that a light structure.
okay, yeah. So it sounds like this kind of terrain is going to make that kind of orbital reconnaissance effectively
The
moot.
biggest thing that
Yeah,
I would
it would-
ask is
it would
what
be
is the
trickier.
actual physical limitations of range short?
So, well, range short is self-explanatory. It means it can scan out to short-range planetary. As for what that is, I wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say what elevation can I get up to and still scan the surface?
So the thing is, because the trees are vertical, your best bet would be to scan things directly under you, which you
Yes.
can do.
That's exactly what I was like. I basically want to point the center straight down and then just do sweeps.
Yep.
Or
So-
only look at the sensor straight down.
So my
So
point is
surely-
more like this: if you were in like a dense jungle and you were doing like a aerial reconnaissance of it, somebody making like camp stuff would have to remove trees in order to have room to put up a camp to house your fighters.
Which you could camouflage
Which
from
I-
visuals. But we're not looking for visuals, we're looking for heat signatures.
Yeah. So the other thing is that the forest on Telos is not like this forest. This is like a bunch of normal-sized trees that are all grouped fairly close together. The forest on Telos is more like
Kashyyyk.
I was going to say Endor, but you could think of it like that as well. Where you have these really big trees that can be further apart because their crowns reach out very far horizontally, and they still create like a solid canopy above them. And there's other smaller plant life that grows in between them. But the dominant trees in these forests
But-
are much.
The point that Underdark's trying to bring up is regardless of the size of the canopy, you still would have to remove some trees to build structures, and anywhere that you build the structure, you'd still have a cluster of heat signatures, which we could find
Well,
with a
given
long enough scan. We're talking about a steep scan angle here. We're scanning through the canopy, not through the tree trunks.
Yeah,
Right,
you can still see
right.
the canopy just fine. What I'm saying is that you wouldn't have to remove any trees because they're far enough apart.
Ah, okay.
But we can scan through the canopy.
But you can scan through the canopy. It's just that there are enough trees in the way that you're going to have a very narrow cone.
Okay. Is there a group? Like, are these attacks grouped that we could use
That's
to
the
narrow
next-
the
that's-
grid?
That's what I was going to ask. So we have a road, and we have a bunch of dots on these roads. Can we just take and draw a circle around those dots and draw lines through the middle to find the middle of that circle, or is it very scatterplot?
So it is a little scatterplot. I wish I had drawn this because this would be a really useful thing to have, but I'll just have to settle for describing it. So
What do I not get paid for?
uh, so you can think of this this road network as like a spider, sort of, where the distribution center is in the middle. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yep.
So these attacks there have been enough of them that they have been taking place sort of on all sides of the spider web. However, more of them are concentrated on the north side. There are multiple roads that lead that way. But the majority of these attacks have happened on those roads leading north.
So, I could be wrong here, but given the ecological bent of these rebels, I think we might be having individuals that are using perhaps even beasts to haul stuff off.
Everyone
Something we
kill
might want to be
yourself.
cautious of.
Kashyyyk?
What, Kashyyyk?
You mean Kashyyyk?
It's also been
He said
pronounced
stuff weird.
Kashyyyk.
He
It
said
also has
stuff
3
weird.
Y's in it, so
Yeah.
who cares?
So, to make like a detailed aerial reconnaissance survey of this area, how long would that take?
You think it would probably take a while.
Okay,
What's a
what if we
while?
just concentrate in the center of the northern roads?
Give me an order of magnitude. Are we talking a day? Are we talking a week, a month, a year?
I mean, it depends on how tight you want your coverage to be, but
100% coverage.
100% coverage would probably like. So remember, short range sensors only go out to a mile.
Okay, so we can scan basically a band 2 miles wide, is what you're telling me.
Well, no, because you're working with a cone, and you can't just.
It sounds to me like going with the orbital mapping route is going to take a lot of time, and that time could be better spent with more hands-on methods.
That is sort of what I'm saying. So if you wanted to go the orbital mapping route, you would be able to get, you think at most, a band about a mile wide. Now, I'm not going to try and do the math to figure out how long that would take to cover the size of the area that I'm imagining, but it's a big enough area that would be time consuming.
There's my 30-second take.
Yeah, something like that.
Curiosity, Pete,
So yeah, we're talking like months here.
what do we know about the kind of flora and fauna on Telos? How hazardous is the wilderness?
It's not terribly hazardous because remember, all of the most of the native creatures would have died off in the original bombardment. There were some that were like originally native to other planets or that might have been preserved elsewhere. But the restoration project would have reintroduced flora and fauna, but they wouldn't have introduced anything crazy on purpose.
Right, like we don't need to worry about them being like, all right, we're gonna put in a couple Acklay, and you know what,
It's not Onderon.
where's the pygmy rancor we can put in?
All right, go to bed now. Bye bye.
Have a good night, Hayes.
Yeah, no, they didn't do anything like that.
Well, yeah, that's also part of the reason I ask, because my frame of reference, I know they brought in Onderonian, flora and fauna for a time, so I wasn't sure if that had been phased out.
Okay, I got a quick question for the trying to narrow down where these guys may be staying. Could we make educated guesses based on where, I mean, not using my map, just based on where the roads are and the terrain? It wouldn't be terribly difficult to, let's say that there's a valley that's surrounded by a bunch of hills that have no valuable resources in them, but that valley would be a very defensible, good spot to hide, kind of. Like, if we have a terrain map.
Would that be covered by the check that I just made, Ruffles?
You made a warfare combat check.
What did you
I'm
try
thinking
to do?
more of survivalist.
Ah,
Like, that would be like you're trying to survive in the wilderness and not get spotted.
yes. So you're, rather than looking for a strategic location to make all of these attacks that you've seen, which is what Branks did, you would
I'm
be
doing the
looking
inverse.
you would be looking for somewhere that's close enough to have reasonably made all of these attacks, but that would also be like in an area maybe less traveled where it would be easier to hide. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Basically, like, based on the topography and the road layout, we would be able to, or at least somebody would be able to figure where would be the best spot to, avoid attention.
Mm-hmm. All right. Difficulty 4 survival.
All right. Aiden, what do you have in survival? Because you might actually be better at this. Because I
He is a
got
big game hunter.
Yeah. Aiden? Survival check.
Let me. I got yellow, green, green.
Okay, you're better than me, so we could upgrade it with a light side, and I could assist. That all right?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Spending a light side all right, Under?
Fine with me.
All right.
What's the difficulty?
4.
And you have assistance from me. Oh, I
Oof.
thought you said yellow and 3 greens. I think I technically would have been better. Oh well. I have 4 greens.
Hmm.
I misheard him. It's
you,
alright.
you have 4 greens, and he looks like he has what?
He
One
had a
red?
yellow and 2 greens.
Yeah.
So I would have had a yellow and 3 greens and then the blue.
Why don't you roll one more ability die?
What is an ability die? Green?
Yeah, but can he get more than 2?
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't, no, he can't. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, I mean, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Too many purples.
Yeah. So you run into the same problem, which is just there's too many feasible locations.
Yeah, sorry, I'm better at tracking
alright.
when I got a starting point.
Well, then
mean,
perhaps
technically
we
you
should
do.
go out to that latest attack site and see if we
Yep.
can't find any evidence of their passage and track it back to them.
Alright,
That is actually something I could do because I have expert tracker.
Yep. That one is to the north. They've already recovered the transport from there.
give us a spot on the map. We can get there ourselves.
We brought our ship, so we got the hard contact we
contact.
can take in.
Excellent. She was gonna offer you one of their transports that they have there, but if you have your own,
I think we would prefer to take our own in this case.
very good.
Ours is better. Alright, so
Yeah.
I'll go out to the ship and then drop the hard contact off the side of the platform and land the ship back on the platform.
Yep. The location of the most recent attack is about a day's drive out.
Alright. Why is my mic picking fucking everything up again? Alright. Getting hard contact.
I'm gonna spend the flight time swapping around my kit, changing out the blaster I'll be using, etc.
Oh,
Well, yeah, we're going on a jungle hunt. I'm just
Doesn't
gonna
mean it's
bring a blaster rifle. After all, the mods to the light repeating blaster, it might be helpful to have a little extra space here.
Well, you can always keep it in the hard contact.
there is room in there for it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I just mean like I'm
he-
swapping out the primary wield.
He has
Al-
a
also,
full weapons locker in here.
Oh yeah. Hell, I got a fucking weapons locker in my engineering room. I keep all the shit we scavenge back there. Yeah.
So to get to the actual site of the attack would take you about a day. We would,
Alright.
you left
We'll have to put some supplies in the hard contact from the ship for that then.
yeah. But what exactly are you bringing? Because we should establish that. And you obviously would have had the chance to provision for this as well.
Oh yeah, you said we were gonna have to discuss the. Wait, so I have 80 cargo capacity.
You do.
A decent amount of space in there.
So that's enough for 20 supplies. Each person needs 1 supply per day.
3
Minimum.
days.
So there's, 6 of us?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did we ever keep Svensson? I wanted to keep Svensson.
You can't keep.
I forgot to
Svensson,
add.
unfortunately.
I wanted to keep Svensson. I would have paid for them out of my pocket.
Well,
So-
you should have mentioned that when you were back on Ord Mantell.
I forgot, completely forgot until just now.
Oh well. Yeah, so we'll transfer, I think, 20 supplies from Peaceful Intentions to the Hard Contact for give us about 3 days worth of food and water and rations and things like that. I think we still have the grenades from our that we didn't use, so
I don't think we used a single one.
yeah, I don't think we ended up using a single one because he ended up being alone in an emergency bunker rather than like in a room with a bunch of commanders that we had to flashbang and enter.
Stones might be useful.
So,
to capture
but those
somebody
we can
alive.
just but those we can just bring with us, like they're on our persons.
Yep.
Oh, could we pick up a pair of electro binoculars?
How much do those cost?
250 encumbrance 1.
You're carrying them.
Yeah.
Then yes, we can.
Sweet.
And the electro binoculars are better than the regular binoculars because they also they give you night vision.
Yep. Any chance I can build that into the helm?
You can.
Sweet. What's the cost?
So I think the way we said I was going to handle this is that having an optics suite in your helmet only uses one hard point, and the basic benefit of the optics suite is just a pair of macro binoculars. And then if you want to add any scanners or like night vision to it, then those would be treated as mods.
All right.
Did you already add anything that way, or what do you have so far?
The
Or
only
did you not
stuff I
actually
have,
do that yet?
yeah, the only stuff I have built in at the moment are an environmental suite, a grappling hook integrated into the gauntlet, impact absorbent padding, and then this would be what, optical suite?
Yep, optics suite. I should add that to the yeah. So let's see, the macro binoculars. Do you want to do that right now? Like, do you have the hard point for it?
I have modified my armor to contain 5 hard points.
Okay.
Of course you did.
Be prepared. That's my motto.
I'm gonna say due to the need to miniaturize all of these things so that they can fit comfortably into the helmet and integrate with the visor, the optics suite itself is gonna be we'll say it's 750.
Do we have that to spare, Anders?
Yes.
And then we'll just use the attachment mod rules for adding everything else. So while you're wearing your armor, you now gain the benefits of a pair of macro binoculars. And in addition to that, you can add any of the different varieties of scanner or a pair of electro binoculars to it as mods.
Alrighty. What was the difficulty check of putting a mod in?
Difficulty 3. And it costs 100 credits to do that.
Hmm. I'm trying to decide if I try that now.
I mean, if you're going to try it now, you should try it now.
Probably try it now.
Do we have light side points?
Yes.
Just the one.
Alrighty. And would I be able to get some assistance?
I could lean over and watch.
Cool assistance.
I'm being very helpful.
Yep. Let's see. Flip a light side.
Okay.
Money RL, right?
Money DL.
Money D.
Now I'm going to have to start making things harder so I can get more of those. Very nice. Let me see, what does that get you? Does it say in the book?
I think it says I can see them at night now. There's no time of day that they're safe for me.
Nothing about it on that page. Does the handbook have anything? Or the cheat sheet, rather. We've devised a new single-use function. What kind of what's a single-use function that you can get from that?
Single use function out of a optical suite with integrated night vision.
Yeah.
Perhaps I don't know, the equivalent of like flashbang resistance that one time.
Flashbang resistance.
You know, the idea being that I'm using night vision. If someone were to say attempt to do something that would say fuck with my sight, optic based.
No, I know what it'll do. So the way night vision would work normally is it just enhances your vision in low visibility settings. However, due to the you were able to find some like unique binoculars that you wouldn't use actual binoculars. You're incorporating the function of binoculars, so you would have to find some kind of miniaturized scanner that you could incorporate into your helmet. And the one that you managed to find is actually pretty high quality. Rather than merely enhancing your visibility in low light conditions, it also enhances your visibility through like smoke or particulate or light forms of obscuration.
Already. And
What
this
that
is the
means-
single use function.
This is well, it's not single use. This is like a sort of a permanent enhancement to it. that I'm doing.
Okay.
I say if you're worried about flashbangs, just incorporate a for the night vision side of things, the equivalent of what a welding mask does,
Yeah,
but
I'm
in
not-
reverse.
The
Essentially, it is a sensor that very quickly detects bright lights and turns the filter on the welding helmet.
you've invented
I mean, that's-
transitionals.
Yeah. Well, essentially, that's what a welding helmet does, and that would be a
Alright,
pretty
alright.
common item.
No, that's not what this is doing though. This is the
So the
Yeah.
base modification is I can now use macro binoculars.
Yep.
The mod is electro binoculars and how do I word the other stuff with particulates?
Okay, so what electrobinoculars do normally is they remove one setback from perception checks due to visual. I wrote visual conditions. That means darkness, but in this case, it will also apply to things like smoke or thick fog or light foliage. For
Sounds like he gave you semi-predator.
yeah, like it's a minor form of predator vision.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
So I believe
remove-
you were originally asking about like flashbangs, right?
I mean,
like
if
what
you'd
he said.
rather- okay,
No, I like what you said.
all right.
I was thinking like a single one-off. Never mind. I like what you said.
Okay,
Semi-predator vision.
yeah, semi-predator vision.
Semi-predator vision.
Imagine if a predator went up against a Mandalorian. The Mandalorian would have a new trophy, but it would be an interesting fight.
Somebody could have a new trophy, that's for sure.
One of them will have a new trophy.
I'd love to see a Mandalorian with like a little predator face drawn on their shoulder. Because that was the thing that they killed. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
Anyway, you're able to make that. So
Alrighty.
that's the line.
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. We have the new upgraded hard contact to play with too, and that was because of me spending 10 minutes doing that shit, so.
Yep.
Don't have to apologize. Fun stuff is fun to do.
Yep, and then there was, my whole stumbling through the social stuff. So don't worry about needing some limelight for yourself. It's not a problem.
Yeah. Although a lot of
Alright.
that was also due to me not being able to give him the best recap of all the shit that happened up until now.
I don't even have most of that recap. I got here way late.
Alrighty. Let's get back on the jungle hunt. We were headed out to the location
In the location.
in the middle of the fucking woods.
In the middle of the fucking woods.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have Aiden, so he can drive the land speeder. Could I fly the Peaceful Intentions and keep up with them?
You can.
Is that alright with you, buddy?
Works with me.
I feel like the peaceful intentions could risk drawing attention.
Wouldn't that greatly
driving a-
simplify the act of finding the enemy?
No, I mean they might not come out because there's a ship.
Oh.
Good point.
You don't jump an enemy convoy when there's a
I know.
gunship hanging out overhead.
It's only a day following the road on our land speeder. How long from the landing zone to that site would it take our ship to go?
Like not more than a few minutes.
So what I'm thinking is we leave Nevin behind.
Okay.
And he's standing by because I have the long range communicator, standing by to bring the ship for close air support should we need it.
Mm.
Not only do we have long range communications, we have long range scrambled communications. We have encryption now.
You do.
And we also have homing beacons in case we get taken by surprise.
Not only do you have, because you added the scrambler to the peaceful intentions, but also thanks to Devati having that code cylinder, you can now send encrypted communications.
Say again?
You can now send encrypted Imperial communications.
Fun. We'll use our own scrambling for now, but if we need to send a communicate to the Imperial, we will be able to use their frequencies.
Yeah, it'll be an older code, but it'll probably check out.
But this.
It's like putting on an old pair of socks.
Wait,
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
on,
we
my
have-
favorite one. My favorite one.
We do have to make sure that the encryptor isn't set to Raspberry, though.
Oh yeah, you don't want to give him the Raspberry gem. Anyway,
All right.
so it only took you an hour to get there from Citadel City. For the sake of convenience, I'll say that all of that happened in like the fairly early morning. You know, like
Wait, it takes an
hours.
hour to get there?
No, I'm saying it took you an hour to get to this this site.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't misunderstand before.
Yeah, I'm backtracking a little to determine what time of day it is because it matters. So we'll say that you started in the morning. You went to go talk to Rovan Tarl. That was your morning. You spent an hour getting out here. It's now mid-morning. So if you set out, it'll take you, we'll say, the rest of the day to get to the location, and by then the sun will be about to go down.
Okay. Do we want to make camp here and then check the site out in the morning, guys, or what?
I mean, if you stay at the at this depot and like leave at the butt crack of dawn, you could get there closer to midday.
That sounds like a better option.
The butt crack of dawn.
Never heard that expression?
No,
I
I've heard
have.
crack of dawn. I've never
Yeah,
heard
there's
the
no
we say
crack of dawn.
crack of dawn
It's
all
even
the time.
earlier than the crack of dawn.
It is a
What is
thing.
that? Is that like 30 minutes before the crack of dawn?
Yeah, well, it's when you get up.
Switching
when,
hour.
Yeah, it's what you tell people the hour you have to get up at when you're about to go to bed early. Like, oh, I better go to bed early. I gotta get up at the butt crack of dawn tomorrow.
Yeah, we say ass cracker down all the time around here.
Huh. Don't worry now.
As-
Alrighty.
So that is what you're doing.
I mean, that sounds like the better option, I think.
Okay.
Starting
They
the
would
day.
put you up here, including food, so you don't need to worry about that if you're going to
Cool.
stay the night here.
Wait,
That'd
why
be gamble.
don't we want to camp out in the woods?
Less chance of getting ambushed.
Yeah. The hard contact is not an instant fortress.
Yeah, it's not invulnerable. It'll buy us time. I'd prefer daytime.
Daytime is nice because you can see things.
It'll also probably make tracking stuff through the woods easier.
Alrighty.
All right. So it sounds like you spend the night at
Yeah.
this depot, and then you set out in the early morning.
Yes.
So these roads they're dirt. You know, the transports that
Is-
they're sending out on these roads are the ones with the real big tires.
Right, but isn't our transport a hover transport?
It is. I'm just describing the.
Okay,
See.
just making sure.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter for you. You've got a hovercraft.
Over the rocks.
Yeah, more or less. Like if the a lot of the terrain around here is steep enough that it would give even the hard contact trouble. Like many times you pass through sort of channels in the ground or like a little crevasse that they wove the road through because it was convenient to. There are a couple places where there's like been rock or terrain that's clearly been dug through for the sake of expedience and just keeping the route short. But in most places it follows the terrain, so you're going up, going down, and all around you are these huge trees stretch up like what did I write?
Based on your description, they'd probably be a couple dozen meters at a minimum.
Oh, taller than that, like
Hundreds of meters?
maybe not. I mean, think like redwoods. They can be hundreds of meters. Most of them aren't.
Okay.
I wrote it down somewhere. Oh my god. Yeah, in most places they're like 10 to 16 stories tall. So these are big trees.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, you're around midday, you make it to the site of the attack. It is regular ass forest like you've been seeing for the past several hours.
Well, Aiden, what do your elf eyes see?
Are there any like tracks leading to or from the forest?
where it looks like they intercepted the convoy and then ran off?
Well, this would have been 20 days ago. So, we'll say we will make this a difficulty 3. However, we're going to upgrade that once because it's been a while. And also I'm going to put 2 setback on it because of the brush that you're trying to look through is thick and it obscures things. So it will be purple, purple, red, black, black.
We should probably spend a light side point to upgrade your side of the check.
And is this perception or survival?
Survival.
But you are tracking, so.
And do I have unskilled assistance?
Sure, I can unskilledly look around and see if I notice anything.
Dang.
Yeah, so you're not quite able to find any tracks. Or
I seem to roll purples like a lot higher than yellows.
yeah. Actually, I won't even say you don't find any tracks. You find lots of tracks. Just none of them appear to have been made by forest animals wearing boots.
Well, guys, between the time, wind, traffic, there's nothing I can really find.
Judging from the trajectory of the sun and the moon and the stars, I'd say we're fucked.
I just had an idea. I have a long-range communicator, right?
You do?
Is it possible for me to listen in and see if there's any unusual radio traffic?
Yeah, I mean it is very quiet out here.
Right. The idea being that if they're using radios for communication, perhaps I might be able to rig up like a radio direction finder.
Make a well, you've got a long range communicator, so you can tune into radio chatter anywhere on the planet. Like if you're looking for things on local bands, you would be able to hear there's a bunch of dispatch chatter for all of these transports that are being sent out between local industrial facilities coming back to this depot that you left from.
Right, and I can use that to dial in the range.
Yep. Yeah.
You can also use me as triangulation too.
Well, you would also know the range. Like you own this long range communicator, and you have the map, so
yep,
you would know about how far to set the range to just sort of capture this whole region that you're in.
Right, and is there anything besides the dispatch channels on any of the bands?
There's some civilian chatter, like I forget what they call them in Star Wars. What do they call like TV in Star Wars? You can pick up some holo novellas. There you go.
Yeah, hollows.
Yeah, holo novellas.
Holo novellas on the HoloNet.
Yeah.
A movie would be a holodrama.
A holodrama.
Is there another attack site close by?
Yeah, well, I mean, you went up north, and most of them were in the north. So there is... Yeah, you can sort of go... you remember when I described it being like a spider web? So there are these roads that lead out away from the hub, but there are also roads that connect them at various points, like laterally.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could find one of those, and if you took one of those roads, that would put you on another road headed north, and from there you would be able to get to another attack site.
Okay. So I think we should just head to, since there's nothing here, I think we should head to the other attack site, and maybe one of these attack sites they left something behind that we can use to track him down.
This one that you were just at is the most recent one, but even that was like 20 days ago.
I know, but I'm thinking along the lines of they melted axles, so they might have deployed like heavy weapons of some kind, and they might have left like an expended tube or mine fragments or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's some sort of energy mine based on the description, and every single attack has had it.
There's another reason I want to go to another site. I want to use my long-range communicator to broadcast in the clear to the ship that we've completed our survey at Site 1, and we are proceeding to Site 2.
Basically, communicate to me on the encrypted channel telling me to turn the encryptor off.
Yes, but the point is I want to reveal our position and some vague industrially sounding type stuff, i.e., hey rebels, there are targets here. If we can't find them, we'll bring them to us.
For me?
Imperial search party here.
Right, but I don't call us that. So they're an industry thing, so they would be doing site surveys and things for new facilities and things like that. So it makes us sound more
Bureau of
We're,
Land.
we're an
Yeah.
Imperial survey, lightly armed.
Yeah.
Very nerdy, not very.
We're a technical services type patrol.
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
not
lightly
not a
armed.
heavily armed commando
Not lightly armed
team.
at all.
In that case, I'm going to stay in the hard contact, where
Yeah,
they're
we're
not
away.
going to see the distinct element and be like,
We
oh,
are
I think
lightly
something's
armed.
off.
We want them to think we are lightly armed, so
Oh,
they have
Brent.
interesting.
By the way, we do have a light machine gun on the for you.
Yeah, you're the seldom heard of military arm of the Forest Service.
That's just the Corps of Engineers.
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
we're
Seabees.
we're park rangers. We heard you've been poaching. Opens fire.
I think you got them mixed up with the Border Patrol. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, so I think, we start heading for, quote-unquote, Site 2.
Okay. And you're broadcasting publicly that you're heading for Site 2.
Yes. That we've completed our survey at Site 1. We are en route to Site 2.
Interesting. Yeah.
What is with our group and, wanting to get jumped? Well,
if we can't
Monday
find
and
them to jump
Saturday
them.
recently.
Look, our mission is to find more information about these and get a capture if we can. If we can't find them, we can't very well do that. So the next best thing is to let them find us.
I understand the reasoning. I just love how we keep doing this all the time.
Also, our vigilance is better than our cool, remember?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Maybe
Well,
not
for
him.
everybody but Devati.
For those of us whose job is inflicting violence, we're more dangerous when surprised.
But anyway, transgress it over to Site 2.
Yeah, so you would have to head a little bit further north before you can get onto that sort of transverse road that takes you onto a different route, also heading north, but a little to the east. And then you would start to head north on that road. Now, the sun is nowhere near going down yet, but it's getting more into the afternoon now. Let me think for a second.
Yeah, right there when you said just a second, Didn't hear any of that, except for the ek of second.
Huh. Okay.
So yeah, there's something with your mic that's not picking up certain frequencies from you.
That's weird.
Yeah. Like, I knew you said just a second just because of the spacing of the syllables, but the only audible thing I could make out was the ek.
Right. Anyway. Actually, before we get to that, Devati, how much you just said leaving Site 1, survey complete, heading to Site 2, and that's all you've sent publicly?
Throwing some
Yes.
coordinates.
Okay.
Well, no, because if we make it too, there is such a thing as a too obvious of a trap.
Plethora of evidence.
Yeah. So the fact that we would refer to it as only Site 1, the fact that we're not broadcasting continuously, leaves credence to the fact that we know that we're in hostile terrain and that we're trying to take steps to not get ambushed. However, our security isn't perfect, and therefore they can ambush us. Because, in theory, they would have to do some work to track us down, they're more likely to believe that we're not intending them to do so.
So the important part there is we're not broadcasting continuously.
I don't see any reason to.
Yep. I just
So
needed to know that. 'cause it
I
matters.
agree with you being too
So you-
obvious. Yep.
You don't want me to be sitting in the ship going, oh man, Devati, it would really suck if we got ambushed up ahead. That would just be like super inconvenient. I have 2 weeks until retirement. Would you like to see a picture of my kids?
I mean, I think some like inane local chatter would be fine, but nothing on the long range, nothing that would, in theory, be a security risk.
Right. So local chatter like, hey, you guys want some Nerf burgers?
Yeah,
after
so that if they get close to us, they would then be able to tell that we're there. But it's going to be things like, yeah, do you want some Nerf burgers? Did you guys catch the sports ball game last night? Things like that.
Yeah, so you
I love sports ball.
you start sending transmissions about Nerf burgers.
Well, that's just like local, like suit to suit chatter. It's not powerful radio. It's like the long range communicator.
Right.
The long range communicator is meant to draw them in from wherever the fuck their base is, because they'll be able to hear that anywhere in this area.
As you're sending this chatter, you're I don't know if you're using the like the hard contacts radio to do that, or if you're using your long range communicator.
No, we're literally just like doing like suit to suit chatter.
Oh, just with your comlinks. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
What, like if people who were in environment suits would be using to talk to each other while in close
Instead of
proximity.
taking their helmets off.
Exactly.
So you can all
Difference
hear each
between
other.
a broadcasting radio station and two guys yakking at each other on walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
You're yakking at each other on your walkie-talkies, except you're all inside the hard contact, so you can also hear each other just with your regular voices.
Yep.
Except
Which is what I use to explain this ploy to everybody. Just my
Yes.
regular voice.
And then eventually you can only hear each other with your regular voices, even as you continue to advertise your Nerf burgers.
As
Would
in
I,
we're in com blackout?
Well, if you try to fiddle with your communicator and make sure there's nothing wrong with it, you would be able to confirm that normally you'd be able to send a message to any of these guys just fine, but now it's suddenly not going through.
Huh.
So the encryption link would have gone down for me as well.
Well,
We weren't
that's sort of what I
transmitting on
asked
that.
about. Yeah.
We were trying to appear to take steps for security, so we wouldn't be constantly broadcasting long range.
The reason I asked those questions is because I needed to know, like, are you keeping constant contact with the peaceful intentions? And it sounded like you weren't.
No, intermittent contact. As we
Yeah.
again to make
we
it-
would have regular check-ins.
That's important.
Well, yeah, like on the way to the site and things like that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you would be drawing close. So just say that around the time you would want to check in, this
Mhm.
starts happening and you can no longer check in.
Okay.
Well, I'd immediately gun the ship and move towards the homing beacons then. But if I tried my regular check-in and didn't get immediate feedback, I wouldn't wait 5 minutes. I would go.
All right, you go. It doesn't take you long at all. You're the trees here are still dense enough that you can't. Yeah, well, actually, I'd say you could touch down on the because it's not a huge ship, but yeah, aside from the road, there's really nowhere clear to land here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't immediately like rush. Like I wouldn't be going full speed, and but I would be going high as well to see if I can scan and see anything around the hard contact.
I see.
Yeah, I wouldn't immediately be going right to them because obviously we're trying to get the hard contact ambushed right now.
Okay.
So I would be moving to help with the ambush, not prevent it, essentially.
All right. Well, what are you guys on the ground doing?
Just hanging out.
Yeah, I
Sure,
think
we'll be fine.
yeah, I think we just continue plowing forward. Am I like I'm the long range communicator? Did I lose all reception as well?
Lost all reception. It's total radio silence.
Okay. Yeah, and then with my voice inside there, I'm like, well, guys, we're being jammed. So
Somebody's giving you the raspberry.
Yeah, and only terrorists would use the raspberry.
Wait. Shit. We're all terrorists.
Hey, well, that's not fair. You were state-funded terrorists.
People starts loading.
Yeah, those are just called
I meant
irregular
the
forces.
raspberry thing, because from what I understand, like everyone here knows how to do it.
What, to do the raspberry jam?
No, the raspberry computer thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were making Spaceballs reference. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what you think I meant by do the raspberry jam.
Just entertained by how long it took you to get that.
Look. For whatever reason, because the tech stuff was kind of being discussed, and Underdark mentioned it, my immediate thought went to, Underdark's making a computer reference, not a.
Wait, did you think we were
Spaceballs
talking about
reference.
Raspberry Pi?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Oh
we
my
thought.
God.
Yes, I thought you were talking about Raspberry Pis.
The one that goes on toast.
Because like everyone here uses a Raspberry Pi.
I don't use it. I'm not a fucking computer.
I mean, yeah.
I used to teach people how to program computers, but that doesn't mean I was good at it.
I use them.
So
Not
when I went,
successfully.
it's because Underdark was like only terrorists use Raspberry, and I'm thinking, wait, is he saying that everyone here on the channel's a terrorist? What?
Anyway, getting back on topic. Aiden, you're driving, right?
Yes.
All right. Aiden, make a difficulty 3 perception check.
Can I have a passengers and be a lookout?
Well, actually, before you do that,
What?
I forgot you ran out of these. It is now 2 purple, 1 red.
Because with my heightened awareness affecting allies and not me, it probably
You can-
makes sense.
You can have the person in the passenger seat make this instead.
Yeah.
I will let
I'm
that
the
be
next
whoever
best
you
cunning person. I'm not there.
That's going to be me, isn't it?
might be.
Probably.
The guy
Alright.
fiddling with his radio, not looking at
Yeah.
the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if your cunning isn't good, I can still do it.
It's not.
Because, like, yellow, green versus.
Versus
whatever
2
your cunning
greens.
is.
Well, let's see. You can. Devadi has higher cunning, right?
I have a cunning of 2.
Okay, what's Aiden got?
3.
Okay, and who's got higher perception?
That's what the 2 roll difference would be.
Yeah.
Because Aiden gives him 2 boost die.
But
But
Aiden's
Aiden has the yellow and 2 greens. So is a yellow better than 2 blues?
that's difficult to say.
It's your call, Aiden, whether you want me to roll or you to roll.
I suppose.
I would lean towards 2 blues, but that's kind of arguing D6 versus D or 2d6 versus 1d12. And this doesn't work out like that math wise.
Well, I've been rolling terribly, so who knows? Maybe it'll switch out now.
Go for it.
Go for it.
So what's
Purple, purple, red.
all right? And then Devati gives unskilled assistance. Yeah.
Actually, that does change it then.
Well, I mean,
With the
we
yellow, green, green, blue.
Well, he would have been getting helped by Aiden too, though.
Oh, so we'd have 3
So it
blues.
doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But I'll give unskilled assistance. That's no problem. I'm looking out the window. Or I'm looking at the camera monitor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you did that. Yeah, you've got a windshield that's actually a pair of computer monitors.
You're driving the Batmobile with sonar mode on.
Yep.
And then should we use a light side?
Nah.
Does he have any bonuses from that sensor range short for the secondary system we have installed?
Good question. I'm gonna say not for this, and you'll understand why. But
Some guy
That's why
runs
I
out
asked.
to try to flag us down. We don't see him and run him over.
oh no,
It was supposed to be the terrorist contact, and we just run him over by accident.
Yeah, we see like a weird looking amphibian dude and 2 guys in robes. We run them over in the woods with our repulsor vehicle.
yeah, Aiden, something's been buried in the road up ahead.
I would slam on the brakes.
Yeah. Stop before I reach it. Tell everyone.
You can stop the hard contact.
I'll get out of my seat and tell Brent and ask Brent to take a look and see if he can ID what it is.
Brinks will take a look.
You know, 'cause if it's like IDing ordnance or something, that might be like a military check.
When you say take a look, are you going outside of the hard contact?
Oh, that's
Or-
true. You could just pop your head out the top hatch.
Well, I don't know what he's doing. Is he doing that, or is he looking at the monitor?
Yeah, I suppose you have 3 different options.
Guys, if I stick my head out, wait, I can just take the helmet off. He gets
Why would-
sniped.
Yeah, I suppose you could take the helmet off and make it easier for them.
Right,
Just
but
pop the helmet out.
Yeah, just take the buddy.
put the helmet out on a stick.
Helmet on a stick.
Wait, home. We don't have a windshield anymore?
No, you replaced your windshield with cameras, or just one camera, really.
Oh, come on, guys. You didn't even leave it a hatch?
No, you have a hatch
Nope.
out the top.
That's where the top-mounted gun is.
Like, there's a top hatch that has
Alright,
the
I-
light repeating.
If I stick my head out, I might blow our cover, so I'm just going to try to ID it through the camera.
Okay. Well,
Oh, I see
yeah,
what he's saying. Him sticking his head out is a little obvious because he's Mando.
Yeah. the distinctive helmet design might give away what we are. I can hear the
instead of-
snipers chattering as we speak.
Instead of seeing
All right,
this,
all right. They'll hit the landmine, disable the vehicle, and then we'll shoot them all. Hey, buddy, one of them's a fucking Mando. I think this might be a trap.
instead of seeing the first picture, they see the second picture.
Right. They're expecting the top one. They're getting the bottom one.
All right.
All right, yeah. So,
So-
Pete, would you want me to roll to check through the camera?
see.
And the scanner does, I would think, have some impact on that.
Yeah. Well, so what you're really seeing is you're seeing that some dirt has been displaced in the middle of the road. Like there's very clearly something buried. Like you can see a hole, but you can't see into the hole because you're not right on top of it.
Guys, I'm gonna level with you. I'm making a guess here. Can't really identify from the camera, but given its positioning, I am pretty sure that that's meant to melt our axle and prevent our vehicle from moving. We don't have an axle. I would still recommend avoiding the ordnance clearly placed in the middle of the ground.
Don't you have a grenade?
Yes, I do.
Could he throw a grenade that far?
I
You
don't
want
want
me
to. I don't think we should waste the grenade.
I'm not wasting an ion grenade on
Oh,
that.
it's an ion grenade. Oh, okay. I thought you just had a regular frag.
What's the range on one of those things, Branks, if it detonates where it is?
An ion grenade?
No, the ordnance buried in there.
One second.
If I go up
I
the
mean,
top hatch of the pistol and shoot the ordnance and blow it up, is it going to hurt us?
I'm assuming it's some kind of anti-vehicle mine. I mean, you have to engage it. What's the blast radius, Pete, on an anti-vehicle mine, or is it like a shaped charge specifically designed to blow up and just fuck the vehicle?
It is pretty much a shaped charge designed to blow up and fuck the vehicle. You light on top of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a shaped charge. Probably why the hole's open.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I'll pop the hatch and stick my head out to take a look at it.
Stand by. It's been like, gotta wait for one of them to poke their head out.
See, the reason I refuse to is because I said things like, I have 2 weeks until retirement, and you want to see a picture of my kids? Look, I know I was putting them up ironically, but they'll still kill you for that.
Death flagging yourself for safety.
Yes.
Okay.
This is what Underdark's doing right now.
You know what they say, the closer you are to danger, the farther you are from harm.
I mean, that's what I learned shooting guns, not the danger and harm or anything like that. Is the simulator trope is slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yes. Okay.
So
let's
therefore,
see.
slow is fast.
Now, question, Pete. If you're making an attack roll on me at range,
I am.
Couple things you should know.
Yep.
I do have a range defense.
Oh, what is it?
1.
Just 1? Okay, that's important.
And the other thing is, I only stuck my head out at the top of this, so wouldn't I have the benefits of taking cover? So that'd be +1 to my range defense.
Yep. That is 2. And you also have something else that you don't know about, but that's for me to worry about.
Okay.
Hatch.
And yeah, that looks right. Ooh. I think a headshot might be in order. I'm sure it won't kill him though.
Surely.
Boom, headshot. Devati fucking dies.
Yeah. So Devati, you stick your head out of the top of the hatch.
Uh-huh.
And as you look around and get your bearings, you're still in the middle of the woods. You can't see anything.
Mhm.
Oh wait, I forgot to aim for them. Hold on.
God, you bastard.
Almost forgot.
I forgot to aim to blow your brains out your backside.
So that was a hip fire?
What?
The sniper hip fired the sniper shot.
Let's go back shot.
360 no scope.
Yeah, that's fine. Fortunately, however, this isn't a sniper because you can hear the sound of the blaster go off. It's you think it's only at about long range. It's not like extreme. You would be able to tell the difference if it were coming from that far away. However, you do not see where it comes from. This shot is just sort of coming out of the woods.
Left or right?
Do I?
To the right.
Okay, so it's on the right side.
on the right side. And let's see, base damage 9. So you would take 11 wounds.
Say again.
You would take 11 wounds.
Okay, well, I have a soak value of 1, so I take 10.
Okay.
Okay. That hurt.
Critical hit.
And another crit, which. Here, tell you what, because you're poking your head out, we're going to spend the triumph to crit, and then we're going to spend the advantages to plus 10 the crit.
Okay.
He just got his brains blown out.
Also, Pete, my
71.
next talking point is important. When you're all done with this.
Ooh.
You lose your free maneuver for the rest of the encounter. And this is a difficulty 2 critical injury.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh shit!
yeah, you've got your head poking up out of the top of the hard contact. What are you going to do? Actually, at this point, why don't we can roll initiative if you want.
Well, my question, Pete, is it's almost 12:30. Do we?
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
Do we want to call it here and then
okay.
say, like, yeah, I get shot, I yell out where the enemy is, like, off in the right, so people know which side of the vehicle to exit on, and then do we just want to kind of call it there?
Yeah, sure. You were totally right. Like once that happened the first time, we're just going to fall into this pattern again.
Yep. That's what I was hoping